Okay, what's up, folks? Before we get started, I'm gonna make a little party real quick and see if I can get some people to join in so we can have this little discussion. So, hold on one second. Let's see. Okay. Let's see if they'll actually play that while we're here. And just waiting on people to join in.
Long ago, we looked upon a foreboding sky. The memory of the star that threatened all burns eternal in our hearts. In its wake came an age of silence. Yet with each fond remembrance, we knew those encountered were not forgotten. That someday we would see them again. Perhaps it was no more than wishful thinking. But after the long calm, there are now the beginnings of a stir.
What's up?
The reunion at hand
I'm
may bring joy.
I'm doing a little live stream right now, so talking about PSX, trying to get some people in there to join and talk about it.
Oh, okay.
For they are coming back.
I got it set on shared voice.
Okay.
At last, the
That's
promise has been made.
Cause I know a lot of stuff has been going around in these groups.
Man, them mother's been trying to trash everything and don't even know what they're talking about.
So yeah, let me adjust my volume real quick, and then we gonna get into this. I've been saying, if you got any people on your list that might want to hop in on this, by all means, bring them in. Okay.
See who all on. Because most times I send an invite, people don't even know. I barely, jump in chat groups. If I'm playing, I'm playing,
Yeah. I understand that. I understand.
I got Austin Foxy on. I don't know if he's gonna jump in though. Let's see. J-Tech TV. Man, what's up with the beef between y'all, man?
Man, look, it ain't no beef between me and J-Tech. I just simply don't want none of that ISIS using Xbox or ISIS using PS in the group. Cause I really don't want the group to go down that path. Cause then we'll have people on the outside that's in the group go in other groups about, oh, look, the PS fanboys doing the same thing y'all were doing, but want to talk about us. Stop that right now.
Yeah, I feel.
I'm like, I understand you want the truth to be known, just don't share it.
Damn, old boy, they can post it up a article and it was about it was Zaire. He posted up an article about Final Fantasy VII remake coming to the Xbox One.
Yeah,
I read
yeah.
it, you know,
Bruh, I
and
read that.
there was no confirmation.
Look, I read that because so I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, hold on. They ain't say nothing about no Final Fantasy. Go read this my dang self. Ain't no confirmation, no date, no statement from Microsoft, no statement from Square Enix. I'm like, if they don't get this trash out of here.
Yeah, because I'm like, so this dude just went on somebody's blog and seen somebody talking about it, basically.
Okay,
then. I mean, come on.
I'm gonna say I got my boy Demetrius. He gonna hop in a little bit. Yep.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. Demigod.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's gonna try to definitely wait on him to hop in, cause I know he definitely got some stuff to say about this. Cause it's been, man, it's been one of those weeks where it's like you either like what you seen, or you just really I don't know anymore.
Yeah, you know, to me, I look at it like, well, I'll save it for the video, for the live stream, and I'll say what I gotta say for it. Because, I mean, them are, you know, you don't go full retard, man. Some of them are just decide to go full retard.
Man. It's like and that's the thing, like, I really don't want to start talking about it now until we get to that. Because, like, just that Final Fantasy VII enough was just, like, the biggest thing that everybody was talking about anyway. Yeah. Once that video dropped. Then I'm like, how can people be mad?
My thing is, ain't nobody looking at the fact that how many people that said that and bought Final Fantasy VII already, and them, you know, them PS2 games.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody looked at that, cause I mean, shoot, plenty of people jumped on it day one. You know, if just about 5 people out of our group just jumped on it, you know, just think how many people in other groups then jumped on it.
Yep.
And I refuse to watch Zobi's videos. I just take his videos for what he
man, look, I ain't watching no Zobi video, period. I am sorry. Because, I mean, it's bad enough that, he tries to sit here and act all, like, 1 second, oh, y'all ain't supporting this, and I hate the PlayStation Nation. The next thing you know, here you go talking about, oh, I'm gonna get the Rogue Legacy and Rogue Galaxy and all this. I'm like, bruh, make up your mind.
Yeah, I thought you was ready to get your Xbox.
Like, you either about that life or you ain't about that life. Which one is it?
Like I said, he only doing it for clicks, man, because the dude ain't got nothing else to talk about.
I mean,
from what I understand, he a Xbox guy, and you know what I'm saying, like last gen or whatever, he was just sitting back talking junk about, you know, PlayStation guys. And now that, you know what I'm saying, everything that's switched up, we can jump the bandwagon. But now, you know what I'm saying, he's just like, just a damn drama queen, man.
Yeah. And see, that's what I really don't like that. Cause like I understand you want, you know, support for Japanese games, cause you know if we want to keep seeing them, you gotta support them. I understand that, but you ain't gonna just sit here and just call people motherfuckers and all this and you know, stuff like that, and be thinking people just gonna be letting you say that shit. It's like, dude, it ain't that deep.
Yeah, it ain't that serious. And then I mean, I tried to tell him one time, the people who support the Japanese games are the same ones that imported them back in the day. You know what I'm saying? When they weren't coming over here. So, you know, you can't sit back and actually say nothing to anybody if it's a Japanese, because look at the numbers of the Japanese RPGs and stuff.
Yep.
The numbers is low, but you know people still buying them. Not everybody likes them.
Hell, I'm up here just thinking. I'm looking at the numbers of the Japanese title, and I'm just saying like, it's pretty much the same number every time, depending on the game.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, this guy, oh, it didn't sell worth shit. No, it's selling about the same as it always sold. This guy ain't never been a million seller. You get, you know,
not one Japanese. The only Japanese RPG that sells like 1 million units, if it ain't got Final Fantasy on it, ain't nobody gonna touch it like that.
pretty much. I mean, Dragon Quest, you know, can get up there sometimes, but as you said, Final Fantasy, that's about the only one.
But shit, man, that dude, man, I swear, man, I was like, and the thing is, he used to be on my friends list on the PlayStation.
Oh, look, same with me and some more folks. You know, we used to game with him and everything, and it was like, and we always used to tell him, like, when he made that one video, and I'm up here thinking, do he really expect us to just play J-Star the whole goddamn time? Like, there's more shit coming out. Like, we gotta move around. Like, J-Stars is cool, but I ain't gonna sit there and play it like it's Final Fantasy or something like that.
Yeah. I like when I was on his friends list when Xenoverse came out.
That's when a lot of us were.
Me, him, One Stop, all of us was playing, right?
Yeah.
And this dude, he making stipulations in the game. He's saying, you know, you can't use sensu beans and nothing like that. So
see,
in the corner and I'm whooping him, and he uses the damn sensu beans.
See, hell no. See, that's the type of shit I've been like, nope, we ain't pulling that damn stipulation nonsense. We just gonna, you know, get it how you live. Even though I will say it's kind of that unspoken rule not to use sensu beans anyway, just fight straight up. Hell, I'm up here wondering who the hell brings out items anyway. But the moment he would have busted out a sensu bean on me, I'm like, nope, you just opened up the whole damn can of worms then, bruh.
Oh, trust me. He damn got to talking shit about people using special powers. He's like, y'all spamming your mayors and stuff. I'm like, man, this is the game. What you talking about? That's how you play the game, man. You can't sit back and tell me how not to play the game and this is how they designed it.
Exactly.
That's like telling me in Mortal Kombat I can't perform a finishing move on you after I beat you. You know?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I used to know people like that though. It was like, really, bruh? I can't do what?
And
like, you tripping,
if I'm
bro.
playing Street Fighter with you, I'm a 9 times out of 10. I'm either Ryu, Ken, or Kun. And you ain't gonna sit there and tell me how to fight against you, because I'm like this. If I'm down my last little bit of life, I'm running. And I'm trying to catch you off guard. Point blank. That's how the game is played. You know what I'm saying? That's why they got this. When you get a cheese victory, that's what that is.
Yeah.
Hey, that's how the game is. You know what I'm saying? If you slipping that hard to where I got a slither of life and I still whoop you, then I'm a superior player.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, win is a win. It might be cheesy as hell to get the win, but damn it, it's a win.
Inch a mile, win is a win. That's why I rarely play online with people, man. Cause you know what I'm saying? I'm trash on just about anything online. I don't. But when I do, like, beat you or something, I don't rub it in or anything. But all I hear is, oh man, you trash, you garbage, and all that. I said, well, you can't do too good to your damn self if I just whooped you.
Yeah, that's why I'm just up here like, 'cause I know one of my friends in the council, he had this problem a while back with a dude on Guilty Gear. And dude was up there calling him trash and all this because he uses Zato. So it was just like, man, really? You gonna call him trash just because he does this and he got you all trapped up And now you want to get mad because you actually won it. He done made like 5 videos on Homeboy talking about that one goddamn. Jeez.
Salty.
But anyway,
That's why, man.
Demi won't be on tonight because one of his friends on Xbox have been wanting to play Dead Rising, so we can go and get. But
because I've been there looking, you know what I'm saying. I was gonna make a video later on about PSX my damn self.
But what is your overall thoughts about what you've seen with PSX? Because I mean, I was gonna go this year, but unfortunately I couldn't. And I'm glad that I didn't go on and pay for the ticket because of that situation going on. But man, I would have loved to have been there because it's something about what they shown. Even though a lot of what they showed wasn't like big stuff, I was still excited for it. Cause like, I'm a gamer, I play games, and I see something new, I instinctively want to play it. Just to see what it's about. So, what's your thoughts on what you've seen, man?
Well, my thing is, Sony came out strong. Cause that intro with Uncharted 4, which I think is probably, you know what I'm saying, that'll be the beginning of the game. To me, how everybody was sitting back talking about Uncharted was downgraded and everything, that proved it wasn't no downgrade because that's the single player and it's the campaign. We've been playing the multiplayer beta. You know what I'm saying? That's 2 different parts of the game. But from what I've seen in the beginning, I enjoyed and I liked that some of the stuff in the end and everything. You know, me personally, I'm interested in PlayStation VR, but I don't want to get too hyped up for it until I hear the price.
Yeah.
I talked to Jabari over on Twitter earlier. He said from what he experienced by playing VR games, it's worth it. It's worth whatever they decide the price is. And, you know, me personally, I'm like, if a gamer is happy about it, you know what I'm saying? If he's having a good experience with it, then hey, they might be on to something. Then I asked him, would it get Oculus around for his money? He said definitely. So VR might be to me, it probably would be a game changer. To other people that I talk to, they say it is a game changer. The rest of the show, I think Sony held something back. There's something they held back because I mean, you can't always go by rumors, but you know, some people that put out rumors, especially Tidex on Twitter, you know, most of his rumors come true. So some of the stuff he said that Sony was supposed to come out and talk about, and they didn't. You know, kind of a, you know what I'm saying, you know, disappointment, but at the same time, for as far as me, like, you know, having my hopes up on stuff, that was my fault.
Yeah.
And I mean, for the people who sit back and like, all right, if I rate PlayStation experience, I'd give it like a 7. But the thing is, I can't give it no higher, and I really can't judge it because I'm not there. Because the PlayStation experience is for the people that's there and playing the games is not out right now. They are experiencing these new games right now. Those are the only people that can actually judge the PlayStation experience.
Yeah, and that's the way I feel about it, cause like, and I'll just go on and say it, the VR presentation, it did flounder. It did kind of stop the whole keynote in its tracks. Cause I mean, it wasn't performing like they wanted to, cause you know how stuff just sometimes happens whenever you go live. Like during dress rehearsal, it could have been flawless. But then you get up there on stage and, you know, it just doesn't go right. So that was kind of a letdown. But I was like, still, that's just a tech demo. That was not actually like the actual game.
That's not, the dude said tech demo. You know, to me it looked like they tried to recreate that part of the Tron.
The Disc Wars.
Yeah, they try to recreate that in VR, which, to be honest, that's a good platform to try that in because that's what Tron was all about, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Just, and my thing is like with VR, because like I've been talking to Jabari, Michi, Ken, Jaleel, And every time they go to a new game, like Jabari played Riggs today, Riggs hooked him right then. He was like, okay, VR day one. Then they went and played Battlezone VR day one. Then I think they played some of the other VR games and they were like, yep, this is day one all over. And I'm just sitting here thinking, because when in the keynote, when they showed Ace Combat, you talking about a person losing their mind in my house. I literally stopped doing what I was doing and I stood up. I pulled a Fred Sanford. I had to clutch my heart because I was like, this can't be happening right now. Soon, cause I seen, you know, Project Ace or whatever, I'm like, this can't be happening right now. Then they said VR, I'm like, no. Soon as I seen VR, I broke down in tears. And I was like, if they get Ace Combat right with VR, this it's really over. It's like, you cannot, if you can get Ace Combat right and do it in VR, and it seems like they're going back to that old school Ace Combat, it's over. And then, not to mention that Ni no Kuni got a sequel. Yakuza 0's coming to the West. They showed gameplay of Final Fantasy 7. They what else? And then there was a couple, you know, I'm a real big Tim Schafer fan, so seeing that Day of the Tentacle is coming, and then some more of his games are coming, plus he's trying to get Psychonauts 2 done, and Full Throttle's coming. I'm like, I'm in heaven. Like, 2016 cannot get any better for me right now. And I can understand, like, they didn't have a bunch of big stuff to talk about, but some of that stuff was big enough for me to where I was satisfied, because like E3, they talked about stuff. Paris Game Week, they talked about new stuff. It's like every conference they had, they talked about something new that you didn't see in another conference. So I'm like, for people saying that it was kind of, you know, wasn't up to par, I'm like, expectations were too high in the first place. My expectations always are kind of just low. Like E3, my expectations were low. Then all of a sudden they blowing out the dang gate with Final Fantasy 7 Remake. Boom, there you go. Sony took E3 from me. Then Shenmue 3, then this. I'm like, god damn, how can you stop PlayStation right now?
What a lot of people don't understand about the PlayStation brand is, regardless if some of them games don't appeal to you, they're going to appeal to someone else.
Yep.
PlayStation got such a big variety of games, such a big selection, that, you know, not every game needs to sell 1 million copies in the first week.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? That's not what they're looking at. They're looking at, okay, let's say we got our heavy hitters and selling 1 million. And then we got these games that, you know, not everybody plays, but, you know, we got a fan base for them. They selling 500,000. Then we got these games over here, indie games, that they selling 500,000. And this is like the first week or first month. So you got to look at what they're selling all year long. That's how they making their money. Sony knows they're gonna make their money off of the software. Every company makes their, well, you know, Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, they all make their money off of the software.
Yeah.
You know, it's just Sony got a larger library from the start. You know,
and that's
they always kept a large library.
Yeah, they always kept, because they always, you know, took risk with certain games. It's like, and that's always been, you know, Sony's thing, is taking risks on games. Yeah. Except for the PS3, they kind of, you know, tried not to take so many risks, but then at the end of the generation, they started like, hey, let's just start, you know, throwing stuff out there and see what latch on. And I'm glad they went back to that, and it's starting to show more in this gen, because now they're just like, if it's a game, we're putting it on here, we don't give a damn right now. Like, y'all can hate all y'all want, somebody buying this.
I'm gonna tell you like this. when Tomb Raider gets released for the PS4, if it sells in the first week more than what it did on the Xbox One, that shows you where your fan base really is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I mean, people saying 300,000, 400,000 first week is good. If that was the case, people wouldn't have been talking trash about Sunset Overdrive.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't have been talking trash about Rise. They wouldn't have been talking trash about Dead Rise and all these games. Now, I don't know what they actually sold on their first week. You know what I'm saying? But people talk trash about it. You know, I mean, it is what it is, but I don't know, man. Dude, the console war stuff needs to stop.
Man, look, it's been like leading up to PSX. It's just like my mind has just been slowly like I just want to leave these Facebook groups all together because it's really starting to kill me how like something new and creative can come out and it gets shit on before anybody can get it. I mean, literally ran to the damn ground to where the point is like, if you get it, the first thing people are gonna do is jump on you talking about, oh, you goddamn weirdo and this and that. I'm like, bruh, really? If I try something different than the norm, because me and Demi was talking about this yesterday on Facebook, it's like people complain about getting the same games every year. But yet, when something new comes out, something different, something that you never seen, never experienced before comes out, y'all want to burn it to the damn ground. And it's damn sad, cause then next thing you know, y'all go right back to complain about, why are we getting the same old games? Yeah. Well, hey, you just burned a new damn game to the ground and didn't even play it yet. So it's
like the Order.
Yep. The Order took a risk of being a third-person game, third-person shooter that was heavily story-focused. You don't see many third-person shooters that's heavily story-focused to the point to where it's cinematic.
And the developers told you from the beginning exactly what you are getting.
Mm-hmm. Just like every other developer tell you when some of the game come out, they say, hey, this game is gonna be like this. Everybody like, yay! The next thing you know, a few months down the line, like, oh, these devs suck. They made this game such and such a way. They made it the way they said they were gonna make it. Like, what do y'all not get about it?
Until Dawn. They said Until Dawn was basically gonna be something like cross between what Telltale does with a cinematic feel, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it was. It took ideas from 80s horror movies and stuff and put it into a game and gave you choices.
Yep. And then
those choices come consequences.
But that really killed me when people got the game and then they were like, oh my god, this game is so cheesy. Weren't 80s movies cheesy as shit? Like, what 80s horror movie did you watch that wasn't cheesy? Please tell me one.
See, this is the thing about it. And this is where they get exposed. They were too young to remember the 80s movies.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, hell, I was born in 88. I caught the ass end of 80 movies when I got a little bit older where I could watch them. So I caught the ass end of them until I grew up a little bit more and I started going back and watching, you know, the original Night of the Living Dead and all that stuff. And I was like, God bless, these movies are super damn cheesy. They were cheesy, but they were good as shit. Cause now I look at movies.
I grew up watching.
Look, cause now when I look at a movie now, and I'm just like, I'm almost tempted to go back and watch an old movie, cause this is trash. It ain't even, you know, horror movies now just aren't like, they're okay. They're not like, oh my god, like that's a good horror movie. Like Jason, yeah, it was predictable as shit. You knew when somebody about to get chopped up, but it was a good horror movie. Especially if it was like your first time watching it. Now it's just like it's almost so dang cheap. I mean, not cheesy, but just the '80s was good. Like
Yeah,
bad
because
acting,
a lot of them actors from the '80s.
but it's like bad acting now is just like really bad acting. Like, nigga, you trying too hard to deliver a line right now. But what was like some of your surprises of the conference, like that just took you by surprise and you didn't expect them to show?
Okay, I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't expect them to show that cutscene from Uncharted 4. I expected them to show some more gameplay and stuff. Talk about some of the multiplayer and everything like that. But for them to show a chunk of the you know what I'm saying, story and everything, and then they show like it's a new spin on Uncharted, which not too many people talked about. But you have choices to pick. You know what I'm saying, of what you doing. So that left me with the idea of would it be multiple endings to Uncharted 4, you know? And then they showed some gameplay of Final Fantasy 7 Remake, which people complain about that, and I'm like, they didn't do it to make this game even more badass, to be honest, because look at how Final Fantasy 15, the gameplay in that. Look at how the first Ni no Kuni, the gameplay in that. RPGs is taking a turn for the better because there's no more just standing there and getting hit. You know, you can move and you know, block and dodge now.
Yeah.
You know, those was two things that, you know what I'm saying, was surprising and put a twist on it. And I mean, to me, when, you know, like you said, that so much of that VR kind of, you know, I lost a little focus on it and everything. And, you know, I'm watching it while I was at work, so it really doesn't have my 100% complete attention. But it was like, everything else was, you know, those are the two things that actually grabbed me and was like, you know, because I wasn't expecting no gameplay of Final Fantasy 7, and I definitely wasn't expecting that cutscene from Uncharted. And then, you know, they was coming out saying, well, this game is available now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even expect it. I thought when they announced the Final Fantasy 7 port, the PC port to the PS4, and then the next year they announced the Final Fantasy 7 remake, I thought they was damn trolling us with the port because they never said nothing else afterward.
Yeah.
Then they come out of PSX, oh, it's available today. Like, what?
And see, that's the thing. I've been like, because they originally had it scheduled to come out in October. And I'm like, wait a minute. October don't came and went. They saving this for PSX. That's the only thing I can really think that they're doing, because it's like, it's probably going to be something that they're going to show at PSX that's going to be Final Fantasy related. So they're like, yeah, let's just save this until then. Yes. So like, you get your Final Fantasy remake gameplay, plus you can play the original Final Fantasy starting the day, and so on and so forth. But since we're on that topic of Final Fantasy 7, we might well just go and talk about these people in the Facebook groups, because there is a definite big ass divide between people who love what they seen and people that just pure hate what they seen. And I'm gonna first go off and say they didn't have to do this. That's the first dang thing I definitely want to say. They did not even have to spend time making us a remake. And notice I didn't say remaster, I said remake.
Yeah, that's built from the ground up, just like Capcom is doing with Resident Evil 2. They built it from the ground up. They took everything, like when we first seen the tech demo back in 2006 with Final Fantasy 7 for the PS3. Everybody's been wanting that ever since. They held off. They kept saying, no, we're not going to remake it. We're not going to do that. It was just a tech demo. Now they come out with the remake. Some they didn't have to do because they refused to do it for 7 straight daggone years.
Yep. Sure the hell did.
And it looks better than the tech demo because they used the Advent Children movie. And, you know, who all really been asking for this game? PlayStation game.
Damn near everybody that knows about Final Fantasy 7
been wanting that damn remake. So now they doing it. They didn't have to. It ain't like they took a poll. It ain't like they took a vote. They just up and said, "Oh, we're gonna remake Final Fantasy 7. We've been asking for it." You know,
long ass time we've been asking for it. And that
what was one of the reasons why they said they want to go do Final Fantasy 7, because they need another Final Fantasy game to sell just as much as Final Fantasy 7 first. They said craziness like that.
Yeah, they said they want. They basically pretty much said we want something to be better than Final Fantasy 7 before we remake Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah. So. And what Final Fantasy game has came out that's better than Final Fantasy 7?
Hell, I can't. I mean, there's been ones that's been up there, but I just can't think of one that's better than Final Fantasy 7. Like just the main Final Fantasy game. I ain't talking about online and the spin-offs.
Yeah.
Even though the spin-offs are good too.
Yeah, like Crisis Core was good. I played a little bit of that. I didn't get to finish it because it wasn't my PSP I was playing it on. Type O, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty good. I gotta go back and pick that back up because, I didn't want to get rid of it, but it was something that I wanted that was coming out of the time.
You just like,
save some money.
Yeah. Just like everybody else. It's like, you play it and it was like, well, shit, another damn game coming out. I'll pick it back up when it's on sale. But at least you got to experience some of it so you know what you was getting into.
Yeah.
So it's like
the cloud storage on PS Plus, I still got my game saved, so I can go back and
Yeah. And like my thing with Final Fantasy is people should have seen the change in the combat style coming anyway. Especially after they did Crisis Core. I was like, if they ever make another dang Final Fantasy 7, it's gonna be somewhat like Crisis Core in the combat section.
You gotta look at what they're doing with Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, it's like, why not make it like that? You're already making 15 like that. Just, make Final Fantasy 7 beside it.
Yeah, with Final Fantasy 13, they did their game. They had 3 different sequels. First time they didn't have a 3-parter. First time they had, one that had just one direct sequel. That was X2. 13 had 3 different parts. But the only one that's so good was the second one.
Yeah.
They knew then, okay, something's got to change. What can we change about it? So they looked back over, through the history of the games, and they looked to see what game got the most attention for its battle system, basically, and that was Crisis Core. So what they decided to do, let's change up the battle system. Because they got, 2-3 decades for the same battle system on the game?
I was going to say, they got they got the same battle system for the majority of the games. Then they kind of went with like a battle system that was like some of the older games, but not like the older games. Like just tweaked it a little bit. So people have been, ever since Final Fantasy 7, actually Final Fantasy 1 had ATB. Then I think the one after that, like, the ones that released in the United States, they changed it up, then changed it up, and then they got the 7. It was like, okay, 7's got the best combat system. That's what a lot of people said. But 6 had the better story, and I think 5 had, equal combat system and story. Then, so you keep going. 8 comes out. It had a weird kind of system to it with the whole stealing magic from enemies just to use it on them, which God bless, I never want to see that happen again in a Final Fantasy. Even though it was cool on some parts, it's like, I don't feel like just wasting a turn trying to get this one item off a nigga, And then 9 went back to the old school Final Fantasy, which I like 9 because 9 went back to that medieval time. So Then of course you got 10 and 10-2 and 13 and 13-2 and then Lightning Returns and 12. And 12 was like that real radical big change between all of them. Cause then they were like, hey, you can move around while you're in combat. Everybody like, what?
Yeah.
Like you can see the enemies on the field. What? Like we just like Final Fantasy Cup where you just run into something. Now I can avoid them? It's like that's where RPGs are slowly going, is to where you can actually decide, do you want to fight or do you not want to fight this thing?
Yeah.
And now we got 15 coming up, and now it's pretty much, you know, taking what Final Fantasy 12 did and giving it more flair, more style. The summons are bigger, and that's another, like Final Fantasy 7 summons. Everybody's worried about they're just gonna be toned down. I'm like, y'all must not have played that 15 demo, cause if you think they just gonna give summons the old bland treatment after 15, oh hell no.
Nah.
15 had one. Look, 15 had one summon. That summon is probably the most badass summon I've seen since Bahamut Zero and Knights of the Round. That was clutch.
I know. I mean, if you, God, dog, you got really the summonings on Final Fantasy. That's what really, like, I ain't gonna say what makes Final Fantasy, but that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
You know, look at the summons on Crisis Core. And you sometimes you set the PSP down and you just look, because it was like a you know what I'm saying, like a small video or something. It was hot.
Yeah, it was hot.
Think about what they're gonna do with Final Fantasy 7 Remake. Man, it's gonna be crazy.
Shoot. I'm just sitting here thinking about all of it now, cause I'm like, first time you get Bahamut, then summon him on Final Fantasy 7. Like, shit. That's probably, and that's the thing, they'll probably use the one like they use on Advent Children. I'm like, yep, go and give me that one. Let's go.
I mean, I'm playing Final Fantasy 7 right now just to freshen up on everything. I never did beat it when it came out. When it came out, I played it, got to the second disc. Metal Gear, you know what I'm saying, was out, and I was interested in Metal Gear. And Final Fantasy 7 back then, to me, it just had too much reading and stuff, and I was like, I don't want to keep paying attention to this. You know?
Yeah.
I was young. You know
just
what I'm
look,
saying?
just like a lot of people back in them days that was, you know, wanted to experiment with RPGs, but them RPGs wasn't voice acted yet, so they were like, man, fuck reading.
Yeah.
I'm going over here. We're gonna go play some good stuff that actually got people talking and they ain't gotta read.
Yep.
But no, like when I grew up on RPGs, it didn't matter to me. I was like, if I have to read, listen to voices, whatever, I'm doing it. Cause once RPG got me hooked on the story, I'm in there.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get hooked on RPGs, like really hooked on them until the PS2. And to be honest, Final Fantasy X.
Yeah.
And that was my very first Final Fantasy game that I beat. You know what I'm saying? I played through it all, which took like forever. Because I mean, old boy Seymour.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand that guy.
Man, he was a bitch. That second time you fight him, he gets what is it? Anima. I was like, this motherfucker here can suck a dick.
Hey, man, I had to pull the Game Shark out to beat that dude.
Oh no! Yeah. I'm gonna say for everybody that's gonna watch this later, some of y'all might be too young to know about that Game Shark. I'm just saying that Game Shark was the clutchest shit in the world.
Game Shark was the Michael Jordan. It was clutch. It was coded. If you had any damn problems with a game and you just didn't know how to figure it out, put that Game Shark in. Hey,
Good to go.
That was it. Put in a few codes.
Hey,
you would get a master. I had Final Fantasy X. Everything was 9999.
Look, and before anybody say that they never use the Game Shark, I'm just gonna pull that card and say y'all damn lie. I know it's a game that y'all don't use the Game Shark on before.
Yeah.
Cause Game Shark was the shit.
Sure, yeah, I'm pretty sure that nobody played Gran Turismo 4 and get all fucking gold trophies in them tournaments and stuff, and they get, you know what I'm saying, all them cars without using the damn Game Shark to make it just to get an edge, because you ain't gonna sit there 24 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
And Final Fantasy, and when I used the Game Shark for Final Fantasy X, it wasn't like no one-hit kills on them bosses. No, it still took 20 minutes to beat them.
Yep, it sure did. It was like, I'm doing 9,999 damage. Yeah, he's still alive though. Like, no, it's like all the little bitty shit. Yeah, you'll roll through that, hit a damn boss. Not like them early bosses. We talking about them late game bosses.
Yeah, like the last dude, Sin, which was the old boy's father.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, man, I'm sitting there, I'm like, why ain't I beat this dude yet? Why ain't I beat him? I'm hitting him with critical hits. You know what I'm saying? I'm killing him, and he eating that shit. But I'm not. The thing is, I'm not dying either. So all I had to do is keep playing.
Yep, like he eating the shit, healing himself up, and eating some more. I'm like, damn. Yeah.
I'm like, man, but hey, people don't. There's some people out there that don't really. They just jumping into the gaming world. You know, last June.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they too young to really remember the PS2 days. And not everybody. I'm just saying it's some.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like when I hear people saying, "Oh, I've been gaming for 12 some years," I'm like, 12 years? What?
That ain't that long.
That ain't long. Like so that means you just started last gen. Then if you say 12 years.
Yeah, you started in the tail end of the PS2 era, so what do you really remember?
I mean, cause you up here talking to a person that's been, SNES, Nintendo, SNES, Dreamcast, all through them heydays of games, and you coming in, acting like the super authority on stuff, talking about, oh, this some old trash, why PlayStation doing this? And I was like, PlayStation always been doing this. When the hell you start gaming?
Thank you. They sit back and look at last gen on the PS3, and they think, you know what I'm saying, because Sony, they was trying to keep up with Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? People, somebody almost argued me down in the Facebook group when I said, Sony took L last gen, basically. Right, now Sony came up and they won. I said, yeah, but they took 7 years of an ass whooping.
Yep.
Just to get up there. They was trying to compete with Microsoft, and Microsoft just had, the one that they had the better games, they just had the easier system to work on.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank.
And
both of them had the same games.
Yep, just one was better for the gamers, which it showed, but PlayStation caught up in the end. Not saying that Microsoft didn't lead the whole time, but PlayStation just slowly caught up over time, which the same thing could happen this gen too. Like Microsoft console could just slowly catch up over time. It might take them a while, but they could do it. So that's why I never count them out anyway.
Nah, you don't never count them out. But the thing about with last gen, the biggest difference between last gen and this gen is these titles that not everybody plays, but some people plays.
Mm-hmm.
Sony bringing them out early. As with last gen, Microsoft had the indie titles. Nobody complained about indie games.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Biggest one, Braid. I wanted to play Braid. I wanted to play Super Meat Boy. Them shits never came. Well, Braid did come to the PS3, but by the time it did, I wasn't interested in it anymore. But I was always interested in Super Meat Boy. Never came until it didn't come to this year.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody complained. Now Sony, you know what I'm saying, gave indie developers a stage, basically. Said, look, create, have fun, give the people what they want. Now they doing it. Oh, that's the indie station. That's the indie station. Y'all was just playing those shits last year, last gen. So when did you really start gaming?
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Or you just, or you just got short-term memory or something. What's going on?
Yeah, and I want to say, like, for people that was up there, and we're gonna throw the VGAs in here too. People up here wondering why games like Splatoon won, games like Her Story won, like oddball out of the left field games won awards over these top games. People are getting tired of the same shit.
Exactly. Call of Duty comes out year after year after year. I hear the same people talk shit about Call of Duty, but they're picking up their controllers and playing Call of Duty.
Exactly. And I'm like, I understand y'all want, you know, Call of Duty is good, Halo is good. I understand that. But it's like when even though Splatoon got hella flack, and I ain't gonna lie, I was one of those people that sit there and thought, why in the hell Splatoon doesn't have voice chat just like every other shooter that requires teamwork? But that still doesn't mean the game wasn't good.
Yeah.
I could talk shit about, like, I talk hella shit about Drive Club. I got Drive Club, and I love Drive Club, but before it came out, I talked hella shit about it because this, that, and the third, I didn't feel was right, but guess what? They surprised me, they delivered, and I love it. So, like I say, I'll talk about a game, but I always at least try before I make my final decision on it. But just like Xbox game, go ahead.
When it came to Drive Club, I bought it before it even came out. Ready for it, you was ready to download. It was already downloaded. When it was time to play, I played. I was like, yo, this is, you know, I looked at it as just a regular racer. I didn't care if it was like supposed to be arcade/sim, because my racing style when I'm playing, if you're in my way, I'm gonna bump you so I can get past you. That's any racing game. So I'm playing, I'm having fun, and then all of a sudden I feel that difficulty kicking in, the AI is being more aggressive and stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute, these guys driving like I drive. I'm getting beat at my own game, right? So I look at it like, well, that's a pretty good game. Now, like I've always said, I'm not an online multiplayer gamer. So by the online not working day one, I didn't care. All I did care about my stats. I did care to see, you know what I'm saying? You know, wanting to see what other people doing and stuff like that and everything. But, you know, because they got it to where you join, you know what I'm saying, a club. And every point, you know, all your fame and your partner's fame, all of that combines into the club fame. So I really was interested in doing that, but I didn't have to play with nobody else to do that.
Yeah.
So that was the only, you know, it bothered me just a little, but not a lot. But, I mean, you know, I was okay with Drive Club. And then now look at it, it's a beast.
Yeah.
Nobody still want to give you props.
And I'm gonna say, like, cause I'm hearing some stuff, you know, from people that I know, that a person that I know that used to work for Sony, plus still kind of got ties with them anyway, even though he's with another company now. And of course, you know, Drive Club's coming to VR. And he just sent word yesterday that not only is it coming to VR, but it's coming in 60 frames a second. That magical number that everybody complained about because Drive Club wasn't in it, in 60 frames a second, is now going to be on VR in 60 frames a second. So I'm like,
okay,
it's all.
Check this out. That 60 frames. Let's talk about this real quick. A lot of PS4 games been played good at 1080p 30 frames. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, that is true.
Open up that 7 core. And this is just me asking you a question, because my opinion is, will these games be able to hit that 60 frames for that 7th core? Though ain't nobody really been able to explain the 7th core to me. I didn't watch videos, I didn't listen to people talk. But I mean, the 7th core basically supposed to take to where not so much power is going into the UI of the game, the interface.
Well,
whatever.
Apparently, because this is just like coming from me. I mean, I know a little bit of, I don't know everything, but essentially this 7th core, because the APU in the system ain't God. Like, it's the APU in the Xbox One and the PS4, they're just like, you know, stuff that PC had probably 5-6 years ago. So by now it's, you know, it's underpowered, but it's still powerful enough to run games on. So unlocking this 7th core is probably going to do one or two things for the game itself. If the game is going to be highly graphically intensive, but they're going to make it have that cinematic feel to it, that 7th core is probably going to make sure that we don't experience dips from now on. At least that's what it should do. Now, there still could be dips just from bad optimization on the part of the dev. That happens on PC as well. If your game is unoptimized to shit, I don't care what you're running, you will get some dips in there. It's some games on my damn PC that I don't sunk thousands into that still have just random out of this world dips that you wouldn't just understand. Like, why is this 980 Ti and i7 980 Ti GPU and this i7 running this game, but it's still dipping? It just happens, you know. But
you see, that's another issue I got with. I'll never come out and talk against a PC gamer. Because I basically sit back and say, alright, y'all supposed to have the best of the best, period. Only thing about PC gamers is they don't get them exclusive only on PC titles that's blockbuster hits, you know what I'm saying, that everybody's talking about. That's cool. I ain't got, you know what I'm saying, I ain't got no problem, but PC is not perfect either, like you said. It doesn't matter how much money you spend into it. If it's not optimized right.
Okay, prime example, when Batman came out, didn't matter what the hell you had, that game was shit on PC. Just point blank.
Exactly.
Like, heck, you got people over here with two 980s complaining about the shit running bad, so you know it wasn't the PC, it's the goddamn game itself. So it just happens.
And people, you got people who just don't understand. Look, my thing is, PC so bad. Where's these games that's supposed to have us console players like, oh man, I gotta play it, I gotta have it. Because I was gonna make a video talking about the graphics one day, on how, don't you think our graphics should be, should we get another leap in graphics now? Because we had a big leap between PS2 and PS3.
Yeah.
Never got PS4. The graphics look good, I'm not taking away from it, but don't they should be looking a little bit better. And I can see some of the games are getting there with the graphics looking a little bit better, but you know, and I know it's the hardware and stuff like that. So my thing is, PC should already have graphics way better than us. The only thing they can brag about is running their games in 60 frames per second. Now they're talking about 4K, but I found out a lot of the games just upscale to 4K.
Yeah, a lot of them, and even some of them, I wouldn't say you want exactly running in 4K. Like, cause I had the little dispute with one guy in Bang Bang, cause he said, like, I know what my PC can do, and only I know what my PC can do because I set it up a certain way. It's not running two graphics cards, it's not doing, you know, what his is doing. But I told him, I'm like, I know I can run a game at 4K 60 frames a second. He thinks just because I only have one GPU that I can't. You know, I took a video, showed it to him, and he still doesn't believe it. Showed him everything on my computer, what I had it set on and everything, still won't believe it. So I just left it and said, you know what? Whatever, it is what it is. I know what I can do. I ain't gotta lie about what I can do on my PC. And it's just like, and that's the thing, it's just certain games. Like Grand Theft Auto, I can do that at 4K, but it's not gonna be at 60 frames a second. Grand Theft Auto is just an intensive game because everything's trying to be loaded and rendered at one time, instead of like most games where it's just like a small section. So like Battlefront I can run at 4K 6 frames a second fine, flawless, not even a dip. Grand Theft Auto, hell no. And that's the thing, Battlefront looks hella better than Grand Theft Auto, but Grand Theft Auto just has, you know, all that stuff it has to render. Plus now, since I installed that Pinnacle of V mod on there, it's even pushing it further than what it was. So now Grand Theft Auto, it still doesn't look as good as Battlefront, but it looks better than what people would normally see with Grand Theft Auto. So, but here's another thing. Going back to recent news with PlayStation experience and everything surrounding it. PS2 games on the PS4. People speculated, and you know, if you bought the Star Wars console, because I bought it, people got pretty much an early access taste to what PS2 games would be like on the PS4. And for the longest time before all the official announcements came out, people speculated it would go like this, it was gonna be part of PS Now and all of this. I'm like, dear Lord. I'm like, so you know, I had to literally go in and tell people like, it's not a part of PS Now. PS Now games you don't install onto the system. Whenever I got the voucher that had the 4 games on there with the 3 PS2 classics, it said on there, these games are valued at, you know, $10 a pop. So I'm like, okay, and it was like $39.98 for all 4 games. So I was like, okay, that's $9. So I was up there, you know, telling people I would expect, you know, games to be, and I was just saying on the high end, maybe $20. I wasn't even expecting $20, but just in case, because of what they're doing, I would say maybe a 20 some up in there, but I was like, no, I don't think they do that. But you know, companies are in it to make money. I don't understand why people can't understand this. Companies can't just live off of giving you shit for free. Even though I know that would have been the best situation if you already previously owned some of the games, or like, and I can understand the disc argument. I can fully understand that argument of wanting to be able to use the disc. I can understand that, but then I also have to look at the technical side of it, to where the disc already have all the info on it. That's hard coded on that disc. You can't modify that at all. You can say, oh, you can put in the emulator and it just, oh yeah, but you're not actually, because the PS4 emulator for the PS2 games, what it's doing, they took the original code of the game and tweaked it just ever so slightly. That's why we can get games that's, you know, cause like when I looked at Rogue Galaxy, I was like, that don't look nowhere how I thought it would look. Cause you know, PS2 games were kind of super pixely and everything. And I was expecting, okay, it's not gonna be as pixely and it'll be smoother. But I was damn surprised how good Rogue Galaxy looked. It damn near looked like they just made an HD remaster out of it, almost. Yeah. So
I remember when I got my PS3, I didn't have many games. I was playing one of the Naruto games on the PS3. It was like jaggy.
Yeah.
And, everything. It was like, it didn't look too good.
Like you couldn't stay.
Yeah. So I was like, I can't wait till the damn PS3 game come out that I want. You know.
But
I was an early adopter to the PS3.
And even then, I'm just sitting here, even when the PS3 got, you know, those PS2 classics, I'm like, even those, people were like, why can't they just bring those PS2 classics that was on the PS3 over to the PS4? I was like, they could, but they have to modify it first, because they don't want you to get that same game, that same pixelated ass game you've been looking at on your PS3 in 720p and bring it over to the PS4 and it's still 720p and pixelated as shit. They at least trying something because they give you one. A lot of people downplaying the whole trophy aspect. People wanted trophies with this, so they give you trophies. Hell, Rogue Galaxy has a platinum. Let me see. I think it's like a couple of the games I know have platinums that you can get. Mark of Cree has a platinum. So I'm like, hey, PS2 games with platinums. What's not to like? So, what else? Then of course the fact that you can use all the features of your PS4 on these PS2 games. So if your friend, you know, you ain't seen in a hot minute has a PS4, and let's just say they bring out Bloody Roar one day to the PS4, the PS2 version, and they were like, hey, you remember we played Bloody Roar on the PS2 back in the day, yada yada, hey, get on this share play and let's go at it real quick. I mean, yeah, it's not online gaming, but it's technically online. I mean,
yeah.
So they just kind of made a way for you to still be able to play these things online without it being actually connected to a server, except just going through share play, you know. So I mean, it's a lot of these things that the PS4 is doing. I can see why they want to do PS2 games this way, because like, hey, now you can just freely share memories or, you know, experience, or just because hell, I'm looking in groups and it's like every other post, especially in the Sony PS4 community, which is mainly a UK based group. These dudes, it's like every other post I'm seeing somebody talk about, where's Grand Theft Auto, where's Grand Theft Auto, where's Grand Theft Auto. And I'm like, damn, they must really love Grand Theft Auto. In which I can understand, because, you know, GTA, Rockstar, that studio is based over there in Europe. So I'm like, I can understand why. They want to support. And people be like, oh, I can't, why are people still buying games that they already own again? And it's something about that statement I just don't like, because people are.
I tried to explain to one person that when I get a new system, I pass my old stuff down. Or either if I don't pass it down, I use it as basically collateral. I trade it in, you know what I'm saying, not to price out the new stuff.
Yeah.
I ain't got no PS2 games. I don't have no PS1 games. I don't have no PS3 games. I'm all PlayStation 4 now. And you got some people who wouldn't mind going back playing them older games, you know what I'm saying? Because it's their favorites. And people are like, well, you paying for it again. Well, I hadn't paid for a PS2 game in almost over 2 years. You know, so I don't, and plus I don't look at the price. They say $14.99. That's too much for these games. It should be cheaper. Alright, that's cool too, but what is $14? What is $15? Really? You're paying $60 for multiplayer only games or single player only games, and you got people that's straight digital. Not trying to take no shots at nobody, but I always felt that digital games should be cheaper than the physical version, because you don't really get to touch it. I don't understand it. I gotta touch what I buy.
Yeah.
You know, that's just me.
And like I'm an all digital person, so it's like for me, and this one of those benefits of PC. PC, I will admit, any game you want day one, you can find for as cheaper damn price than you can on console. Point blank, period. Exactly. There's no way around that. So PC, exactly. I will give y'all that. When people say digital should not be that high, PC paves the way for making sure that digital ain't that high, because you can always find a damn price that's cheaper than retail and what's on the console digitally.
I've seen Assassin's Creed on the PC sell day one for like $49 on PC. You know, and I'm like, But see, on the console side, we're always paying top dollar for it. I don't. That's why I can't go straight digital because of that. Now, I got some digital titles. I have some digital titles, but I'm also going back with them digital titles and buying the physical version. You know.
I was gonna say.
I got to.
I'm gonna say we had a person comment on here. Justin HD said I will not be supporting this PS2 on PS4. I still own PS1, PS2, and PS3 discs. And you know what? To go on that, I'll say this: if you still own, you know, the PS1, PS2, and PS3 disc, I can understand that you don't want to pay for it again, and I can also understand the whole thing about, you know, being able to put your disc in the system. But again, this goes to all back to the architecture of the system and hardware limitation. Not saying that they can't do it, it's just the fact that between PS1 and PS2, the hardware changed, not only graphically but architectural wise. It changed, even though it remained the same somewhat between PS1 and PS2. PS2 to PS3 was such a big ass radical change to the point to where it was like, if you wanted to play PS2 games on your PS3, they actually had to put the physical hardware of the PS2 in the PS3, like those old, I think what 20s and 60s that they had at first, when the first launch. Those were the ones that when you bought them, they actually physically had a PS2 in them, not like the whole PS2, just the motherboard with all the chips and everything were in that PS3. Now going from the PS3 to the PS4, we went from that radical architecture back to something that's similar to what we see in PCs. And everybody talking about, why can I play PS3 games in my PS4? Well, you can't exactly take something that was hard to work with in the first place and make it work with, because every game, regardless we know this or not, on the PS3 had to be built with that cell architecture. It had to be coded to work with the cell architecture. So therefore, when you take a game that's coded for cell architecture and try to put it on another whole architecture together, it does not mesh well. You actually have to have PS3 components in a PS4. And that's where this comes into play, because I'm seeing people saying now, actually just as of probably an hour or so ago, people saying, hey, why doesn't Sony just drop PS Now, make a PS4 Slim and make it backwards compatible with PS3? And I'm sitting here thinking, the PlayStation 4 is small enough. How much slimmer can it get? Like literally, what people have to understand one thing: you have to fit a lot in a console for it to work. It has to have something to cool it, and it has to have, you know, all the other components. You can go ahead and say, I'll stick PS3 components in a PS4, make it backwards compatible, and you might end up with a melted pile of plastic, because you still got to have room for fans. You're probably gonna need more than one fan. You're probably gonna need 2 or 3 in that bad boy, just to be on the safe side.
They have the power brick on the inside too?
No, I'm gonna say if they did it that way, they were gonna have to move that power brick on the outside, because there is no way you're gonna fit 2 sets of components. There's no way you're gonna fit 2 sets of components plus a dang power brick in one dang small ass box and expect that not to blow up. So I'm pretty sure in the next 2 years Sony will figure out a way to make it slimmer. Oh yeah,
I don't think they're not gonna add nothing in there to where, I mean, you gotta look at dropping PlayStation Now. Sony's not gonna do that. They invested too much into that. Their company Gaikai, when they bought it from them, they're not just gonna drop it. And plus, you gotta look at the fact that PlayStation Now is not just, you can play it on just about anything that's new now. Smart TVs to your tablets. Is it on computer yet? Is it on PC yet?
There's not on there yet, but they're probably gonna slowly release. like I know right now it's on every dang near every PlayStation console. You know, PS4, PS3, PS2. They got Blu-ray players that have it. You know, Sony and probably some other companies, and Samsung Blu-ray players. TVs have it, and they're supposed to roll it out to phones and computers sometime later. So I'm like, that's multiple platforms that this service is on, but everybody's treating it like it's just exclusive to the PS4 when that's not true. It's like, this is not an answer to backwards compatibility. This is just a service for people to access that don't want to say go out and buy a PS3, but they want to play PS3 games or go out and drop $400 on PS4 or whatnot. It's just like, this is literally just Netflix for games. That's all it is.
That's all it is. And here's the thing. Don't nobody actually understand this one word. It's like when you're talking about stuff like this, when you talk about anything dealing with the PS4 and what they're doing with the PS2 games and PS1 games, they're doing with PlayStation now, you always got to look at the fact that, and I want everybody to try to comprehend this one word. It's an option.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to do it.
People do not understand that word at all. I'm like, it's just like the PS2 stuff. It's optional. You don't have to indulge in it. But for a person like me, if it's something that I already played and beat the shit, like all the Grand Theft Autos on PS2, I'm not buying those on the PS4 because I don't beat them to shit. I know that game inside and out. I know them games. I'm not buying them again. And like, I got a PS2 that's sitting right in front of me right now, and a handful of games to go to that PS2. So for me, if those games would ever drop on the PS4, I'm 99% more than likely not gonna buy them, since I already physically own them and have something that I can play them on. Unless I just want to be like, oh, I just want to do it for the trophies, which I ain't even no damn trophy hunter. I'm just a person that likes, you know, playing games. But, you know, it just might be that one game. Like, for example, Final Fantasy 7, I have bought a total of 1, 2, 3. This will be my 4th time buying Final Fantasy 7. From the PS1 till now. 4 times I have bought one game. So, I mean,
double dip.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, if a person is saying, and this is what I don't get, cause you got people out here buying $150 controllers, but don't want to spend, you know, $15 on the game.
Exactly.
So I'm like, is it really that crucial for you to have a $150 controller? Like, let me know. Like, is this $150 controller suddenly making you nade shot, or somebody off of, you know, famous on YouTube for playing Call of Duty?
No, does this controller come making you go into God mode? Because I don't see. You know what I'm saying? I don't see the reason for the Elite controller. I really don't. Now, you can try to explain it to me?
I mean, I mean, there's benefits to it, true enough, but it's like, it ain't enough for me to go spend no $100-something. Hell no, it's never that damn serious. Like, I can play Call of Duty just fine without a dang controller that's got 15 million buttons on it. I'm good.
Yeah.
But, you know,
back in the day, I used to buy the controllers that had, you know, some special controls and stuff like that. But it was a reason. It was certain games that I didn't feel like I needed to keep pressing the button to shoot. So I bought a special controller that had that turbo button where you just hold it down and it's constantly shooting. But I don't even play games like that no more. You know what I'm saying? With that type of feature in it. You know,
yeah.
I don't play many shooters. I mean, I have Battlefront, but I'm a Star Wars nut. I love the Star Wars lore and everything. So if I don't play it again, I got the game because I like it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I bought the Super Star Wars when remember when Battlefront was released.
Yeah.
I bought Super Star Wars because it was one of my favorite games on the Super Nintendo. It's hard as I don't know what now.
And that I was about to say, cause a lot of people stunned me when they said they didn't remember Super Star Wars being that hard. I'm like, whoa, hold up. I would just say the Super Star Wars series ain't never been no pushover now. So
wow.
I don't know where y'all getting this. I don't remember it being this hard. I'm like, shit, I do.
Nah. I remember it being hard, but I also remember that I didn't have no job to go to. Over the summer, I didn't have to go to school. So I could sit there all day long and play until I eventually beat it.
Yep.
But I ain't got the time for that now, you know, so I ain't got the time to try to figure out these little quirks and stuff. And it's hard.
But, let me see. Okay, going back to...
One more thing I want to...
Go ahead.
One more thing I want to say about the PS2 games. My thing is, if you got a big bunch of PS2 games, and PS1 games, whatever, I hope you have a PS2 to play them.
Yeah, bruh, I was so about to say that.
PS4, this is for the people who don't have the PS2. You still got your games. I hope you got a PS2. Because you shouldn't be complaining about, I'm not going to support this. You shouldn't. You already have it. Hook it up and play. People who don't have it no more. And you guys look at the new gamers that's coming into this generation.
Exactly.
This is what it's there for. You got people who never played the Crash Bandicoot game. You got people that never played the Jack and Dax. I'm not saying these games are coming to the PS4. I'm just using it as an example.
Exactly.
But the option is there.
And it's just like with me, okay, just like the 5 games I bought on, with the PS2. I never owned those games. And the only reason I never owned those games is because they were so damn hard to find when they first came out. Like, for the longest time, and I'm not the person that goes and buy used games because I'm always afraid of that. You buy a used game and it end up messed up and then you can never find another version of it. Yeah, that's why I don't do new used games now, because I've been hit by that so damn much. So it's like when I seen Rogue Galaxy, I'm like, hell yeah, I never got to play it. I'm playing this shit. I'm buying it. Day one, don't give a damn. Then people saying, why are you buying a game that you already own? How do you know I own this game?
Yeah.
Like, that makes no sense. Like, how can you say... It's like, since people been saying it, I'm like, how can you say I own something that I never owned and I'm buying it again?
Yeah, how do you know what I've owned? What is you spying on me?
So it's like, and with Xbox One, they had their backwards compatibility, and I applaud them for having the ability, to use disc or stuff they already previously purchased. Which, of course, again, this goes back to nothing really changed that much between the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One. So, of course, it wouldn't seem, it's not that hard to do. Architecture didn't change that damn much. But, and I know they got, they can do the same features like we're doing with the PS2 games to where they can, stream it and capture video and stuff like that. So that's also good for Xbox 360 games. But we're talking about actually taking these games, modifying it to where they're better, substantially better than what they originally were. So, and still, can still take all the old codes like on GTA, the invincibility, all weapons and all that stuff. You can still put those codes in. So,
but will it kick off the trophy?
I see with GTA, I don't know. So that's one of those things that's like use at your own risk, cause they might have it in there where like if you use a cheat, you ain't getting no trophies for doing something.
GTA 4, man, I was playing GTA.
You pop in the cheat.
GTA 4.
Damn, a cheat.
They'll knock it off because they didn't implement trophies in GTA 4 until like shit, Red Dead Redemption came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, all right, I'm about to go through here and break this game. I'm gonna get these trophies. I put in one cheat code for some infinite ammo or something.
That was like, nope, no more trophies for you.
Nope.
But,
man.
But again, like, I just say, just like everything on the PS4 that they add in, it's all optional. You have that option to partake or not partake in it. Nobody is putting a gun up to your head and saying, hey, you gotta buy it. That's just the way of life. And when people finally figure out, even though it's bad, and people, you know, companies can't abuse it, companies are here to make money. No, Sony is not getting all of this money, despite what some people say. Sony is not getting 100% of these dang profits, because they have to pay these companies for whatever games they want to put off the PS2 back in rotation. So when people make statements, go ahead.
I said that in the Facebook group the other day, how, you know, when they already said they have to, you know, check and see if they get the licenses and stuff and get permission and everything. So when they doing that, of course, you know what I'm saying, the company's gonna be like, all right, how much you selling that for? We're gonna sell for 15. Well, we need this percentage of that. We need this amount of money, you know what I'm saying, in order to let you do this. Just like with PlayStation Now. You know what I'm saying? It's not every title from the PS3 is on PS Now. There's a reason for that, because these developers, they're not gonna sit back and be like, oh yeah, you can go ahead and put my game out there. No, when we get free games on PlayStation Plus, the developers are getting paid up front first.
Yep.
You know,
Sony like, we gonna cut you this check, and you gonna get this, and we gonna put it on there, you know, for the month that, hey, y'all got X amount of dollars, so that's up front. So that's already counting, you know, as profit for that company, regardless if they sell a single copy or people download it or not. They already got a check. So it's all just a big, you know, everybody got to get paid in the end. Some of the games, yeah, I wish they were, especially GTA, was a little cheaper, you know, like in the $10 range. But then again, that's just one of those deals, because if you look at the actually Sony-owned PS2 games that's on the PS4 right now, they $10. I mean,
so you know, the ones that's not Sony-owned, that extra $4.99, where is that going?
You're going somewhere. It ain't going to Sony. So I mean, I'm just all for options regardless. If I never own the PS2 game, I'm gonna buy it regardless of what people say. You getting honey dick by Sony. I never owned it. I never played it. So guess what? I'm gonna own it and play it for the first time, like it's a brand new damn game for me. Let me see what else. Talk about Final Fantasy, talk about PS experience. Okay, so let's just, cause we kind of been touching on a little bit, but what is your overall feeling about how gamers have changed from what we grew up till now?
Like, overall, say that one more time.
Like, okay, I'm sorry, but like overall, how do you think like the demographic of gamers has just like changed? Is it better? Is it worse? Because personally to me, I feel like gaming has just got so out of control to the point where it's like, I wish it was not mainstream.
I say like this. When you, like, if I'm playing, like I'm playing right now, I can go to my friends list any given day, and I'm going to have anywhere between 30 to 40 people on playing, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's playing something, or either they're watching, you know what I'm saying, they're using the PS4 to do something. I get in some party chats, and, you know, everybody's talking about gaming, they're playing, or whatever.
Yeah.
When it comes to gaming, the demographic gaming is gotten large, and that's good. But when you get in these Facebook groups,
It,
these people can't be playing their games if they steadily in these groups all day long, talking just pure junk. I mean, I might get into a post and I might just put a dot or something in there just to see who all gonna respond on that group and talk all day long. I'm like, you can't be playing a game if you steady in Facebook.
and like here's my thing about it. Like when I'm at work, of course I'm gonna be on there. I'm at work and I ain't got shit to do. I'm gonna be in there, and I'm gonna be just looking at pure stupidity for 8 straight damn hours. But people ought to see the trend with, especially like some of us in these Facebook groups that's like on between the hours of say 7:30 and 4 o'clock. Cause once 4 o'clock hits and I get to the house and I sit down and I start gaming, Facebook and all them groups go out the window. It is nothing but me, games, my wife, and my kid.
I sit here, man, and I see my phone go off, and I might have a list of people that said something in this group or that group, and I'm like, yo, man, when y'all gonna be playing games? Because you can't have the games you talking junk about. You can't have games you hyping up that you already hyped up. If you still in Facebook, I understand. Yeah, you got your phone right there with you, but your controller needs both hands.
And then it'd be like, oh, I'm on my Xbox playing while on Facebook. Like what? Like, I understand the whole snap thing. I understand it completely. But, fool, you ain't playing games like The Witcher 3 and on Facebook at the same time without pausing every 5 damn seconds.
Yeah. Oh, okay, check this out. I don't own an Xbox One. I'm thinking about getting one, but it's still not a game out there that I want to play. So, therefore, I'm not going to waste my money. But this snap feature, I heard it's cool. But me personally, if I'm playing a game,
not doing anything else. I don't
look to the side to watch football. Because me, I love football. I love it. So if I'm watching football, I'm not playing no game. I'm not even talking to my girl on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm into football, and she understands. You know what I'm saying? My girl, she's a good woman. She understands. She knows how I am about my sports. But my attention, I gotta give 100% my attention to whatever I'm doing. I can't split it up like that. So for people to sit back and be like, oh man, Snap is cool and all this and that. If you listen to music, cool. That's the only way you can listen to music in the background. I understand that now. But it's supposed to be coming to the Xbox. But if you sit there talking about, oh, I can watch football, wrestling, whatever while I'm playing the game, that's a lot. You can't. I've had a big screen TV that had picture in the picture. I tried picture in the picture. When I was playing the game and had football on, you know what happened? I cut that off. If I wanted to play my game or if I wanted to watch football. Ain't no daggone, that's not a cool feature. It's useless.
Yeah.
You know, I want my game to take up just about the whole screen. Not just this portion of it, then no. I mean, if people think I'm taking a shot, you really, come on, tell me if you enjoy. What the hell going on?
I mean, I know even like me, I can't do the whole, if I'm gonna be doing something like this, me doing this right now, that's the most I'm doing, because while I'm still gaming is not distracting me. But everything, hell no. I ain't got time to be trying to watch no damn TV and game at the same time. It ain't that damn serious. If I just want to watch TV, like if I got off here right now and said I'm gonna watch TV, I'm not gonna keep playing Final Fantasy 7 and go to Hulu and watch some damn TV. I'm gonna watch TV. It's gonna be one or the other.
Exactly. I just don't.
Oh crap! I gotta get this timer down. God, I know why I hated this part now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, there we go. No, this part on Final Fantasy 7 where everybody has to press the button at the same time. And reactor 5. I hated that shit as a kid. And it still got me to this damn day. Oh man. But yeah, it's me personally, I'm glad gaming has grown outside the subculture that it used to be. Even though it's still a subculture, it's just a bigger one. But I feel like gamers have become, I wouldn't say, they're less apprehensive to try new things. Because I remember as a kid, you used to go to the store and you used to just see a game and be like, oh, okay, I'll try this out because it looks cool. Now, we got gamers waiting until they see damn reviews on the game to be saying, oh, I want to try this game. Game they could have been waiting on and waiting on and waiting on for, say, years. As soon as that game dropped and they see a bad review, oh, not getting that shit now. But that game could still be good. Just like I caught all types of hell because, hell, I like Godzilla. Once they showed that, said that, hey, Godzilla coming on the PS4, I'm like, shit, fuck yeah, Godzilla on the PS4, let's go. Everybody looked at me when they saw the reviews and said, you a damn fool. I'm like, I'm enjoying the game. I'm not worried about another person's opinion. If I'm enjoying it, then I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. I can't stand when I hear somebody tell people, don't buy this game, it's trash, or don't buy that game, it ain't no good. Stop telling people what to buy, cause they might like stuff that you just don't like.
But I'm gonna say, but here's my thing. Like, this is why we start this, like, especially with the PlayStation community and other communities start latching on to it. The whole, have you played it though? Like, that's seriously like a question everybody should ask whenever they say, oh, don't buy this game because it sucks. But did you play it? Regardless if you rented it, whatever. I don't care if you game flight it. Did you play it to actually come up with a valid opinion, or are you just going off based off what you read? Or what a person on YouTube said? Cause if you can form your own opinion on the game, then okay, that's cool. I'm still gonna have to form my own opinion of the game before I can say, okay, it sucks. And I'm just gonna say it sucks for me. It might not suck for you. So
see, that's why you never hear me talk nothing about Xbox games, cause I never played none of them games. The closest me playing the Xbox One game is going up to GameStop and trying out whatever they got on demo and display. But the majority of the time when I go up there, they ain't even got the Xbox One cut on.
Pretty much.
I don't say nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I seen one dude made a video. I ain't gonna call out no names or nothing like that. But it was when Drive Club was getting ready to release. Now I'm thinking he played it or whatever. And he's like, don't buy this game, it's trash and all this and that. So when I did my research, I found out it hadn't came out yet. It's getting ready to come out. Cause that's when I took and went ahead and bought it, you know what I'm saying, and got it preloaded and stuff.
Oh no. Well, that just happened, folks. Live on PlayStation. That happened. Well, hopefully Farad comes back in a little bit. So until then, we just gonna enjoy some more of this gameplay. Cause y'all been listening to us for a whole hour and 40-something minutes. So enjoy the gameplay for a little bit. I know I've been having them awkward pause moments, but enjoy the goddamn gameplay. We hitting them for them 612s. Okay. Okay. Back to this game. Got my Titan bangle. Okay.
Yo.
Yo.
Alright, I'm back, man. My cousin had to, he had to deactivate my account on his PS4. Cause I finna want, if anybody's listening now, if your PS4 is not activated as your primary PS4, then if you're playing Final Fantasy 7, it's gonna lock you out after about a good hour or two playing. I just got locked out of it.
Yep.
So that's not gonna fly with every game, because my PS4 was, my account was activated on his account for the past 6-7 months, and we never had an issue until these PS1 and PS2 games.
Oh wow. Well.
So I mean, I had sent him a text and I showed him a picture how it had me locked out. It still had my game going. Got the little circle going around beside the start. It just had that lock on it at the same time.
Oh,
so
no.
he went in, he deactivated it. That's what kicked me out of the party. For about, it didn't take him what, 2 minutes?
Oh no, it don't take long at all.
Yeah, now I'm back on, but I forgot even whatever I was talking about. I mean, hey.
Let me see, what were we talking about? Cause I think, form your own opinion on games and stuff.
Oh yeah, like, okay, I remember exactly what I was talking about now. I seen dude talking trash about Drive Club. He never played it. It hadn't even came out yet. He's telling people, don't buy it, it's trash, this and this and that. Okay, I don't get the logic behind that with YouTubers. I don't get it, because does your passion for whatever console you decided to go with runs that deep that you have to tell people you basically protesting against the other one? I mean, is it that serious? It doesn't make no sense to me. I would tell people, whatever you have fun with, get that. If you like the Xbox, get that. My thing is, stop comparing what system has the best games. Neither one of us can judge that. If you own all three of the systems, that's the only person that can actually sit back and be like, well, this game is better than this. But then it's going to be a forever argument between themselves. It's going to be like, well, this is good on here, and this is good on here, and this ain't good, but this is good. It's going to get stupid like that. I think when people form their opinions, if you hadn't played the game, you don't have an opinion. Point blank.
Yep. If your opinion is, well, IGN said it sucked, yep, that ain't your opinion. That's IGN's opinion.
And you're being a sheep. BG made a video one time saying, his video was about, can you actually review a game if you hadn't finished it? My thing is, if you played enough of it to where, you like it, you can review it.
I'm gonna say, cause it's certain games where if you want to be like that type of reviewer that has their review out in, say, like a week or so, it's certain games that you either have to get extremely early and go and start playing, or you have to just like non-stop play that 24/7 and you can't play nothing else. That's why I don't really review games until like because I'm still trying to figure out how I want to do my Drive Club review. Because I'm taking into consideration how it went from like an average ass launch to where it is now. And I'm like, that's a lot of dang info I gotta condense down into like a, you know, size, into a good little review that ain't 50 minutes long like, you know, Angry Joe. Because Angry Joe, he takes, you know, 40-50 minutes to review a game, but he breaks it down to every little single thing, regardless if you like him or not, and regardless if you agree with what he say. He, you know,
He's thorough.
yeah, he's thorough. He goes through everything that he likes, don't like, and just, you know, goes about it. Me, I don't want to do that because, one, I'm like, if I get to talking about a game like I usually talk, it'll be more than 40 minutes to the point to where they'll just skip all the way to the end and just see what I, you know, closing remarks. So, but yeah, it's, and I always go, like I said, I'm that old school gamer. Online is a thing that it could go away right now and I'll still be okay. Because even though the majority of games have online functionality, it could literally leave right now and I still got games that I can enjoy that's offline. So, just the community itself, and I'm not saying every gamer is like this, but it's like with the, you know, rising up of YouTube has exposed a lot of people to gaming, but it also brought out the bad side of gaming. They call it the crumb side of gaming. I'm just gonna call it, this is the shit side of gaming. This is the side that you don't want to go to because niggas don't enjoy games anymore. It's literally a dang pissing contest of who has the best graphics, who has this. It's not about if you having fun with a game anymore. It's about who spent the most money to make this game. It's about now having multi-million-dollar budgets on games, and if it's not a multi-million-dollar game, as far as advertising and everything, it is no longer considered a game. It's like games that remind you of what Contra used to be, the small little indie devs, they are not considered games anymore. They're considered cell phone games. And I'm like, how can you just judge what a game is based on how much money it took to make it? Hell, it's been a whole bunch of games this gen that sunk millions into development that just turned out not how people want it. Prime example, Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs had everybody excited when they first seen it. When it came out, not so much. So that just goes to show you can have a multi-million-dollar budget on the game and it still not be worth that multi-million-dollar that they put in. I'm just saying. But then you got these little under-the-radar titles that just be sliding by that people write off that are actually good. Because...
example? Her Story.
Yep. Everybody wondering like, what in the hell is Her Story? And why does it only cost $5 but it's winning all these damn awards right now? Why? Because Her Story took a chance, did something out of the ordinary, showed people what gaming is about. It's about new experiences and enjoying gaming, not just who has the highest budget, what looks the prettiest. Even though, yes, graphics are a thing that we have to observe now. They do rate games on graphics now, so we just have to take that into consideration. But graphics aren't everything. You can have the prettiest damn turd in the world, it's still the goddamn turd.
Yeah, it's still a piece of shit.
I'm just saying. So just like people said,
you have jewel encrusted shit, but it's
still shit. Just like, you know, but going back to Godzilla, people saying Godzilla shit that ain't even played Godzilla, ain't even laid a finger on Godzilla, but claim it's shit. because of what it got as far as review and because of how it looks. And I'm just sitting here as a Godzilla fan, and I'm just like, it's not shit. What y'all have as far as expectations, and I'll get into expectations on stuff later, but it's just like you wanted one thing and it's not catering to you. Because it wasn't supposed to cater to you, it's supposed to cater to the person that loves Godzilla.
Thank you.
It's like every game ain't for you just because it's a game. Just like I'll see people make posts about, you know, certain games that's on either platform about how, oh, why is this on a console that costs $500 or $400? This ain't, like, it ain't for you. The game just ain't for you. Now, on to this whole expectations thing. People, get y'all expectations in check. Because some of y'all be up here having these grandiose expectations on what a game should be like. And what a console should have. Yes, I understand the whole concept. If you spend $500 on a console, you shouldn't be playing 8-bit games. Hell, people spend thousands of dollars on damn PC and still play 8-bit games. Cause why? That's what we do. We play games. Don't matter what it look like, long as you're having fun. So why do you expect every game to come out on a PS4 and Xbox One to look like Rise, Killzone, Until Dawn, Sunset Overdrive, and all these other, you know, high-tier games? Even though everybody on one side of the community thinks PS4 games are just complete shit, don't look worth a damn, but everything on their side looks god tier, and vice versa. Cause we got people like that on both damn sides. I ain't picking no sides today, I'm just spitting the goddamn truth. There's people like that on both sides. Even the goddamn Nintendo side be doing this shit too. So we throwing their ass under the bus as well. So it's just a shit show on. Actually, it's a shit show on every single side of the fence. PC, Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft. It's just a big ass shit show. Niggas just talking about shit that's just really, it's killing gaming to me to the word of point. Like, I literally sometimes regret getting on Facebook sometimes and looking in these groups, cause it just depresses the shit out of me. That's why on the weekend,
I mean,
when I don't fuck these groups. Y'all depress me too damn much.
Man, when I have my 2 days off, cause I'm off on Thursdays and Fridays. Mm-hmm. I'm rarely in Facebook groups. Somebody will tag me in a picture or something, and I check it out because I want to see what you tagging me in.
Yeah.
I check it out, but most of the time I'm not in them when I'm at home because I'm either playing the game or watching Hulu. And you see, because you were my friends list, you see, I mean, Mr. Official, you know what I'm saying? He would send me a party chat request, and I might be sitting back just watching something like, I talk to them later or whatever, or I might be into my game and I'm like, I'm not gonna talk right now.
Yeah.
But then he sent me one time and I was like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and jump in this party because right now he's just gonna sit back and be like, this dude don't talk to nobody. So I joined in, you know what I'm saying? Because just to see what was up and everything. And I sit back and I listen to them and I chimed in my opinion. I play the game, but most of the time I'm playing my games, man, or either I'm using my console to what I was supposed to use it to. Now, granted, I can watch Hulu on my computer. I can watch it on the tablet. I can watch it on my phone. I enjoy it on my PS4 because my TV remote control, I have a Sony television. Mm-hmm. So my remote control controls my PS4 from the start, day one out the box.
Yeah.
It controls everything. This is my main hub for my entertainment. And I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing with this. I'm not in the Facebook groups all day long, just when I'm at work, because it'd be boring. I don't even like partaking into the fanboy stuff, but it was 1 week, man, where I'm not saying I sunk to anybody's level, but when we was hitting everybody with them damn facts.
Oh yeah.
Hey. I mean, it was just crazy.
Look, I don't try to get into the fanboy stuff because people label me as a fanboy just for, as you said, telling the truth. You tell the truth, you get labeled as a fanboy regardless of what damn side you're on. Facts, as BG said, is like kryptonite, and I'm saying not just the Microsoft fanboys, but to any fanboy, it's a goddamn kryptonite. You throw a fact at one, they get to dodging that shit like they like, depending on it, making up stipulations about this, that, and the third. And I'm like, man, look, bruh, they ought to make a damn dance from these fanboys. Just like the way they sidestep, cause it be smooth as hell. These niggas sidestep and backtracking so
man,
damn smooth.
You can sit back and be throwing the facts or whatever the post is about, and they will come up with something else. Like, let's say they want to talk about sales. All right, let's talk about sales. Even though y'all say sales don't matter, we're gonna talk about sales. You start going to these websites showing the NPD numbers or just the not the accurate numbers, but you know, around it off in the range of what this you know what I'm saying, whatever sold this week or whatever. Then they want to talk about, well, Star Wars Battlefront is 900p on the PS4. Okay, so you start throwing it down what's 900p on the Xbox One. I'm just using all of this as an example. I'm not getting on nobody. I'm not picking on nobody or no console. But you start throwing out all of this, then they want to start talking about something else. And when you keep on throwing facts at them, guaranteed they're going to call you a punk, pussy, faggot. They're going to sit back and try to talk about you ain't getting no ass or nothing like that. I'm like, what's that got to do with what the fuck we talking about?
Man, look, I dread when people say that shit about how, oh, you that type of nigga that don't get no pussy. What the hell they got to do with gaming?
Yo, I mean, if I'm the type of person that don't get no pussy, and because I'm in the Facebook group talking about games, what did that make you? Because you're doing the same shit.
It was somebody in that dang PS4, Sony PS4 community today talking about, y'all guys need to get a life and quit taking games so serious. I'm like, bruh, you saying this in a gaming group. Think about this. Think about what you were saying.
My thing is, why aren't you out there taking your life serious right now? If we're not taking life serious, why are you here? I mean, I've been gaming since I was 10 years old. My grandmother introduced me to gaming. I've been playing ever since. And I tell people today, if it weren't for me playing these games, I guarantee you, I'd probably be locked up because I came out of a bad neighborhood.
Yeah.
I've probably been selling dope. Ain't no telling what I was really doing, you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't have been good, you know what I'm saying? Because the streets, if you stay in a bad neighborhood, man, you gotta do something to keep your mind occupied from the street.
Yeah,
they call you.
They really do. Hey, I believe, cause I came from that same situation. I grew up in the hood for the majority of my life. So I know exactly what you're talking about. You know, people used to call me nerd, this, that. And now I look at most people that I grew up with. Some of them been to jail. Some of them, you know, no longer here. And it's just like, you up here calling me this, that, and the third. And I turned out just fine. I ain't never get in trouble. Because why? Games kept me occupied. I like to read. Gaming actually got me to read more than, you know. That's why I was saying, like, gaming had a lot of influence on people that kept them motherfuckers out of trouble. I go back to the hood now. I still get respect because people are like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You weren't out here doing none of this craziness. And it was like you always had your mind on something else. You know what I'm saying? You know, I just be like, you know, I don't tell people I've been in the house playing games and shit. I tell them, look, I knew the streets weren't no good. My focus it's not like, you know what I'm saying, anybody can get out of this shit, man. Yeah.
Gaming is a part. Look how far they came, man. Just look how far from graphics to now we got a fucking award show that's on par with the damn Grammys and Oscars. Look at that shit. And the thing about it is you still got people out here fussing over the smallest, craziest shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell?
Yeah,
but let me get into a little bit of fanboy right now.
Oh Lord.
December the 10th to see these NPD numbers. That's all I want to say about it.
Man, look.
I'm curious about it. I'm very curious. I want to know what actually happened, you know what I'm saying, in the month of November. Because I wasn't out there saying Sony gonna take November or Xbox gonna take November. I was sitting there like, I want to see who sold the most. I'm curious because shit, you had people buying. When I went to go pick up Fallout 4, I seen people walking out with the Xbox bundle Fallout 4.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't like one or two, you know what I'm saying? It was a lot. I was like, damn, you know? So I'm curious. I want to know.
Heck, I'm the same way. Don't worry, I am the same way because it's like any console can do good any given time.
Yep. Any given time. You got people who's waiting for that one killer app. Fallout to me is that one damn killer app.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if Metal Gear would have stayed a Sony only game, I'm pretty sure a lot of people would like been in, you know what I'm saying, you would have had people, oh, I'm getting the PS4 because I'm guaranteed that's the only reason why I got my PS3. The only reason why I got the PS2. I didn't know shit about it until the PS1, and like I traded in Final Fantasy 7 to get Metal Gear.
Oh Lord.
So yeah, you know what I'm saying? If it had been a Sony exclusive, it would have pushed more units.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Either way it goes, it still did good across the whole platform because it was out for last gen too. Which I want to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Can you consider games that's on the PS3 or 360 next generation games when they come out on the PS4 and the Xbox One at the same time? Let's use Metal Gear Solid 5 as an example.
I mean, of course, you got that graphical difference, and it's surprising to me. I mean, shouts out to Hideo Kojima for doing what he did with the Fox engine to make it easy to work with, to where it could be run on, you know, the old systems and the new systems. And he did, you know, some next gen stuff with the game, but I wouldn't really just consider that a next gen title. Like a next gen or as a current gen title to me is something that you can only play on this generation of consoles. So like stuff like Madden, even though there might be differences between the two versions, between the old gen and this current gen, I'm still not going to consider that a current gen game. It's still, you know, it's still Madden. It's on both. It's just one looks better than the other. That's why I see like next year Call of Duty actually being a true next gen game, because hell, with Call of Duty Black Ops 3 on the PS3, they cut out the single player. That was enough there.
And the thing about it is, I've always said this about Call of Duty since it was on PS3 and Xbox 360, and they had the online and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It was the same game being pumped out every year. Why don't they just make it a, you know what I'm saying, an online only, or have it to where, okay, you know how they got let's say DC Universe Online.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna be another DC Universe Online. It's not gonna be a part 2. But they give you updates every so often. It changes the game up.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't they do that with Call of Duty and just charge, like, you know what I'm saying, each time a new update come out, just charge $15, $30.
Yeah.
I think the PS3 and the Xbox 360 got the better deal because they got exactly what they want. Nobody was gonna play the campaign. I know people that get Call of Duty, put it in, and don't touch it.
And I said this when I was working back in GameStop. Like that was like almost 7 years ago now. Well, before I left, I had been saying that Call of Duty, what they need to do to really capitalize is just stop putting out single player content, because nobody plays it. Literally nobody goes out and plays Call of Duty campaign anymore. Not like that. I still play it because I like Call of Duty campaigns. But other people, hell no. Them day one, minute one, these fools is straight on that multiplayer, straight on zombies. Every single time Call of Duty comes out. So it's like a lot of games you can just tell, like, yes, this just needs to be just have a multiplayer version for the people that like multiplayer, and then have a single player and multiplayer version for the people that want that. Cause I guarantee you 9 times out of 10 that multiplayer only version will outsell that, you know, that whole complete package.
Yeah. I mean, now Call of Duty is so good across the board, but like you said, you check out that campaign and watch.
Cause I mean, Call of Duty to its core, for me, since I started on Call of Duty way back when it was still a World War II shooter, that's Call of Duty to me. This Call of Duty, this generation, is nothing but multiplayer focus. There's no real, you know, I mean, there's incentive to do the story if you like stories, but for this, the gaming now is just like Call of Duty ain't the same. What else ain't the same? Hell, even games like RPGs aren't even being the same anymore. They're trying to infuse multiplayer elements in single player RPGs now. Like, take for example, Dragon Age Inquisition. Why did that game even have multiplayer in it? Like, I mean, I understand the incentive to, you know, add co-op, but it's like, games like that don't need it. That game was built off of literally being, what I call single player experience only. Co-op shouldn't even been thought about. So it's just one of those weird things, man. It's just like, I like multiplayer, but I hate it when it's put on the wrong thing. Like, if you're gonna do multiplayer, make it fit the game. Don't put it in the game just to put it in the game. Say, hey, we got multiplayer in the game. Nah, I don't want that.
Prime example, God of War extension.
Even though I heard there was a good multiplayer, I just didn't feel like God of War needed a multiplayer.
It didn't. Cause I mean, I've been playing God of War since the first one. I love it. I love the franchise. I felt Extensions was the weakest God of War game that came out. But I remember before 3 came out, everybody was like, they need to have multiplayer. I'm like, well, how would that work? You know, because it's a single player experience. It's based on mainly just the story. Now, you got some games out here that's a single player experience and based just on story, but multiplayer will work. Like The Order. Multiplayer will work for that.
Yeah.
You know? But something like God of War, I couldn't see it. And when they came out with it, it wasn't like multiplayer in the game. It was like its own little arena style type multiplayer. Like Rise, you know what I'm saying? And to me, it was like, it didn't need that. Not saying it wasn't no good, but it just really didn't need it.
Yeah, but let's see. Anyway, like, I'm about to wrap this whole stream up. Cause we went somewhere everywhere on this one. PSX, I went in with low expectations. I'm happy with PSX. I'm not in the groups. I said, for me, off of what I seen, it was amazing. I can't speak for nobody else except for myself. PSX for me was amazing. If I could have went there, it probably would have been even more amazing. But since I couldn't, I have to live vicariously through all my friends out there that's out on the show floor, out seeing all this stuff, out experiencing all this stuff, telling me all these great things that's come with PlayStation VR, telling me about all these great smaller titles that are coming. Even though people don't like small titles, these smaller titles are coming, and that's a good thing for gaming, because we need more creativity in gaming, or else gaming is going to die. And I've been saying it's slowly, gaming really started to slowly die a little bit. Whether you like it or not, gaming was dying a little bit, to the point to where I see people saying that they got to a point to where they just weren't enjoying games, until I started really delving into the indie scene. The indie scene gave me hope for gaming, because when you see games like what is the name of that dang game? Because there's so many games right now and I can't just think of it off the top of my head, but the one where you play is the kind of like a blue fox. It's on the PS4 right now. Kind of like a blue fox, and he carries a sword and everything. Oh, what's the name of that?
About, the game, Mr. Official Platinum, that game. I know
yeah, I can't think. Yeah, Elysian Tale. That game was made by two damn people, a husband and a wife. They made that, and ever since then, I've been digging that indie scene. I've been digging the indie scene before that, but that cemented what an indie can do for gaming, because they were creative enough and pride themselves enough in the work that they created to make something beautiful, masterful. It played well, had no hiccups, no bugs. So I'm like this from now on. Companies have no excuses for bugs being in their games when small teams can create a game with no bugs. I understand if you have little itty bitty bugs here and there, and I mean little itty bitty bugs like that don't do nothing to the game, they just like, they'll make you laugh. But if it's something like to the point like on Battlefield 4 when everybody got that and they kept having to redo the damn campaign over and over because the damn save wouldn't save, yeah, we don't need that. Especially if it comes from a multi-million-dollar or multi-billion-dollar company. No, do not give me that excuse. I know patches can fix a lot of shit, but I don't want to have to download 15 million patches to fix some like shit yeah, The Witcher 3 had 15 million patches, but I can honestly say with The Witcher 3, I didn't have any issues with it. That's just me.
I didn't either.
I know.
Yeah. Whenever they came out with an update, I just went here and updated, but I still played.
I was like, I understand people have been having issues with The Witcher 3, and they've been wondering how the hell that game won Game of the Year and had all these issues, but I never experienced a single one. So that's just for me. I haven't experienced one, so I'm not saying it ain't there. I'm just saying I ain't seen what y'all seen. So
yeah.
But it's gaming has come a long way. Go ahead.
Yeah. For me, PSX, I would say my expectations were high because I listened to these rumors, and I had, you know what I'm saying, hopes of seeing something, you know what I'm saying, myself that I didn't get to see. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It was my fault that I was hyped for it. I shouldn't have been. They came out Sony. I'm not saying I'm giving them a pass, but they didn't sit back and say, oh, we're going to show this and we're going to show that. They just said they was getting ready to have a PlayStation experience. They said the PlayStation VR was going to be the main focus, basically, and it was. And the PlayStation experience is for the people who go there, because like I said, they get to play these games. The keynote, that's just something. I mean, keynotes, even for E3 or Paris Games or Gamescom, them keynotes, that's not the main focus on the show. The show is being there and playing those games.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't sit back and say, oh, they let me down. I didn't go. I watched it on my phone at work.
Exactly. Just like me, I didn't go. I can just say I know what's going on. I can't say anything more than that.
Yeah.
So
everybody say, oh, this is boring, this is trash. Stop watching it, do something else.
Exactly.
I don't get it. If it was boring, why you sitting back making yourself suffer like that? Some people just trip me out how they go about stuff.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's just getting to that point where I want to stay out of the Facebook groups, and this is why, because I guess it's just the way I game compared to how other people game. Because when I look at, and this is just me assuming, but when I see how other people gamed, it's like I can almost guarantee that they only played XYZ game in their whole entire life. That they didn't experiment outside anything except, you know, maybe the odd fighter here or there, or maybe the odd RPG here or there, but never just like went fully into, okay, I want to play my mainstays, but I also want to try this game out, because it might be good, or it looks like it might be something that I'm interested in. Now it's just like, if you like Japanese games, you're a weirdo, you're a weeaboo, you're this, you're that. Everything under the sun, that's you. And you could just be like, I like, say, Yakuza. Yakuza is probably the closest thing that people will get to playing Shenmue before Shenmue 3 drops.
I was getting ready to say that because that's what took the place of
Shenmue after.
That's actually one of the reasons why Shenmue 3 wasn't released.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you had Yakuza to take its place, so Sega was like, hey, we still got Yakuza, so let's just keep doing that. But you got people just going, you know, based off what they showed back at TGS with Yakuza Kiwami. You got people saying, oh, this is for weirdos because the dude is cross-dressing, when they don't understand the purpose behind why that dude was dressed up as a woman. Like, it was a reason that he was dressed up like that, and it's just like a reason why they cross-dress in Persona. Why they do it, they did it in Final Fantasy, but nobody remembers that apparently, because everybody wants Final Fantasy 7 now. Just like when people,
if I'm right, don't you gotta like, to get close to like one of these little bosses and stuff, you gotta like dress like a woman or something?
Yep, it's actually a trophy that you gotta win. Don Carlos whatever, you gotta basically get him to like you better than the other two damn girls. So I mean, there's a purpose behind when you see cross-dressing in these games. It's not to be saying, hey, I'm gay. No, there's an objective behind why that person is cross-dressing. Sometimes it's to sneak in and get close to whoever you gotta take out. Sometimes it's, you know, just to be a disguise. It's not trying to say that the person is gay. People have to get away from that stigma.
And another thing about Japanese games that people don't understand because they haven't been gaming for a long time, their sense of humor is completely different from ours. Their lifestyle is different. It's like, if you watch anime, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
It's okay. But prime example how, no, I'll give you a better example. You might have seen this, you know, video circulating of this guy that wears panties on his face and he's a superhero. That clip, okay, but basically it's based off of manga, and it's called, you know how they have their version of Power Rangers over in Japan, they call them like they got the Kamen Rider series. Well, this is Kamen Hentai. It's basically a superhero of the most he just wears panties on his face. He becomes almost like Spider-Man. He's, you know, he fights, but and some of his finishing moves require him to thrust his pelvis area to finish people off, which might end up with, you know, junk in your face or whatever. And people don't see how that's funny, but they have to understand Japanese humor. It's just the fact that it's so damn off the wall, it catches you off guard to the point to where it makes you want to laugh. Just like Prison School. They put them dudes in so many fucked up situations that you had no choice but to laugh at them getting messed the hell up. And that's in those situations. Even though it's fucked up and it's slightly damn gay, it's funny. Because you just looking at it from the outside and like, damn, that is actually kind of damn funny. That's why I said open-minded people will get it. Closed-minded people won't. At all.
It's a lot of closed-minded people, gamers out there.
Yes, there are, and I can honestly say I can't see myself being a gamer being closed-minded. I just can't. It's too many games out there to experience to be closed-minded.
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't saying going out there and play Barbie Horse Adventure and all that. I'm not saying be that damn open-minded. I ain't even playing that.
I'm trying to tell you right now. I don't know if they still on my friends list on my PSN, but I know gamers that got the Hannah Montana game for the platinum.
Oh man. Look, yeah. But see, that's the thing. I ain't no trophy hunter, so I ain't just gonna buy no Hannah Montana and no Barbie game for no plat. I'm sorry. I'm a gamer, but I draw a line when it ain't supposed to be for me. So I'm just yeah. If it ain't for me, look, if it ain't for me, it ain't for me. So you ain't gonna never see that on mine. You might see Omega Quintet, but Omega Quintet is a RPG. I can get jiggy with that.
I went and got I seen Mr. Fisher playing One Shibara and everything, and I was like, well, that feel like it's a classic hack and slash. The graphics look decent. I was interested in it. I went and picked it up. I should have paid more attention to his video. I had no problem with the game, but I didn't know that these girls would just walk around and
they don't give no fucks in that game. They just don't care. That's why they had and that game reminds me of, like, you know how Dead or Alive pushed the boundaries on how women looked in games? That's pretty much the Dead or Alive version of Devil May Cry. Almost. Just not as good.
Exactly.
So.
Just not as good, but it's
I mean,
equivalent of that.
Yeah. It's a solid game. It ain't great. It ain't bad. It's just, you know, you gotta take it for what it is. The story kind of out there, but it's like, yeah. So I mean, it is what it is. In some games, and that's another thing about Japanese games, you have to understand, some of these Japanese developers are just straight up pervs. They don't give no fucks about how you feel about them being pervy either. They will go there on y'all real fucking quick. Because go ahead.
If you like anime, then you should understand a lot of Japanese people are some pervs, because regardless of what anime you like and it's your favorite, even to the most mainstream anime, Dragon Ball, you got Master Roshi.
Man, super perv.
Super perv. You got Naruto when it first came out. Used to do some ninjutsu to where his sexy jutsu, give people bloody nose. That's that little pervert stuff, but that's their culture over there. That's not saying that's who they are, but that's the stuff they find very funny.
Yeah, and that's not saying that if you play these type of games that you are a perv. It's just certain, like Senran Kagura. That's all types of pervy. Even when you read the dang book that the developer put in there, he says, I don't care. I like big tits and big asses, so I'm putting them in the game. He said this in the book, so you already knew what type of life he was about. He didn't care. Just like Tanobu Itagaki. he is the same way. He like, if you gonna look at a woman on a video game, at least I'm gonna make you look at a beautiful woman. You ain't gonna be looking at no regular old female. You gonna be looking at a bombshell. And I can respect that, cause they keeping it up front. They keeping it real. They was like, look, if we gonna put a woman in here, she gonna look good. She ain't gonna look, you know, just, oh, there's such and such. No, you gonna remember Nina, who else? Kasumi. You're gonna remember those. Anna. You're gonna remember these damn women, regardless if you want to or not. You gonna remember them for something.
Look, Chun-Li and them thighs.
Yep. Even Ono got a little, you know, a little perv in him too. Look at Laura on Street Fighter 5. You think Laura ain't got that body for no reason? You got Laura, you got fucking Ibuki wearing a goddamn ninja suit that's pretty much ain't got nothing under the motherfucker.
Nothing.
Cause you can pretty much tell looking at side, she ain't got shit under there.
And what's that girl that's wrestling? They had to cut one of her
Armika.
Yeah.
So it's like, just understand, Japanese developers are pervy as shit. And this goes back to whenever people were talking about how they were on the Xbox side, how they were excited for Scalebound and all this, but they were still on that whole kick of fuck Japan and we don't want Jap crap games, and why y'all want to play games with cross-dressing when they don't know the history of Platinum in they games that they make. Cause I guarantee you, if they go back and play some of Platinum's old games, especially God Hand, that had nothing but cross-dressing in it, I think they would think differently.
A lot of people don't do they research. You know what I'm saying? Or like, me personally, if I'm picking up a new game, never played it, like once you borrow, I'm gonna do some research on the early games. First, I asked people to play the early. My cousin, he said those games are normally fun for about 20 minutes. And I was like, oh, okay. So I looked it up to see what's, you know what I'm saying, the history of the game is. And I'm like, all right, cool. I know a little something about it. It's not one of my favorite games, but it's okay. I can give you a history lesson on Devil May Cry, because I had the very first one. I remember playing it, and I beat it, and I was like, damn, I gotta go and tell somebody about this shit, because I don't think nobody knows anything about this game.
Yeah.
People don't do their history. You would think people did their history on Metal Gear Solid 5, you know what I'm saying, about, because shit, they got retrospect videos out. People don't do their history on their games and stuff. They don't understand what's, you know, how these the developers are and everything and all that. Not saying Kojima is a perv or anything, but if you play some of the Metal Gear games, you know, like Snake Eater, he made it to where you can peep it even when she changing her clothes.
Yep.
It's a little pervy, right?
I'm gonna say a little pervy shit. And that's the thing, like, even, and I love how Kojima made Quiet to make people think, oh, he was being pervy when he secretly wasn't. If you know Quiet's background, it's like, yeah, on the outside, yeah, that looks pervy as shit. Until you be like, oh, well, wait a minute. Actually, I looked at that the wrong damn way. Maybe I need to reevaluate how I think about stuff. Cause whenever
maybe you are a perv and you just exposed yourself.
Yeah, and so I was up there whenever they gave that big reveal on why Quiet doesn't wear, you know, clothes and stuff. I was like, oh, okay, now it makes sense why she doesn't wear.
I'm gonna tell you the real pervy twist to that is when they came out with that action figure.
Oh yeah.
That was pervy as I
Yo, I can't even front on. Yeah, there wasn't no getting around that one. That was super perv right there.
Yeah, dude. And I was like, come on, man.
That is strictly for the pervs right there when they did that one. But yeah, the rest of that stuff is just like, y'all look too deep in the stuff that ain't supposed to be that deep. especially when it comes to Persona. Because if y'all knew the fucked up shit that goes on in Persona, y'all wouldn't be worrying about that one little cross-dressing part. I promise you.
I'm gonna tell you like this: my knowledge of Persona goes from I played Persona 4 on the PS4, the trial version, and I mean, people can talk shit about me if you want to, but I thought it was just a straight up fighting game because what I played was 1 versus 1. You hit this button, you got these specified. I'm like, God, nah, this is fucking hot. My cousin was like, no, it's more to it than that. It's more to it than that. Like I said, I only played the trial. So when I got my PlayStation Vita and I got Persona 4 Golden, I'm thinking, okay, this is gonna be, you know, just like what I played on PS4. Wrong. It's RPG and all of that. And I was like, at the time, you know, if I'm not putting too much time into RPGs on the PS4, I definitely ain't gonna put that much time in the Vita because I rarely touch the Vita. I've had 2 and got rid of both of them because I rarely play them. But I mean, I'm looking at it now like, okay, I've been playing all these RPGs, you know, Western RPGs, Japanese RPGs. Now, am I ready for Persona 5? Will I check it out? I'm not gonna sit back and like, oh, we getting Persona 5, this is exclusive. No, I'm just sitting back and I'm waiting, and it's not gonna be day 1, but I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna do my research on it, like I said, because you telling me it's some crazy shit in there, and I think it's on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? The Did You Know Gaming. They do a lot of history tracking on games. And like you said, they had to change some stuff up in it because, you know what I'm saying, one guy either gay or transvestite or something, whatever. And it's a lot of stuff like that in that game.
Like, prime example, one of the main characters in Persona 4, for people that don't know, he came out to say that, yeah, I like men, I was just always confused about it. Cause I never felt like I could be myself around other folks. That's why I'm saying, like, Persona deals with some real life shit that actually goes on in people's real lives today. But when you first see him, he's this guy like Kuwabara was on Yu Yu Hakusho. Kuwabara was the manliest man. You couldn't tell him shit. He was hard-headed as hell. You know, that type. This guy was pretty much Kuwabara, but he was caged up in himself. And in Persona, whenever they had to face their shadow versions of themselves, he had to face that side that he repressed for so long. And that side talked mad shit about him before they had that fight. That side of him said, oh, you just a bitch for not wanting to talk about, liking dudes and all this stuff. And he was like, that ain't me. Oh, so you don't like knitting clothes and all that? That ain't me. Then he finally just broke down and said, yeah, that's me. I was just afraid to expose myself to everybody. So it's like, while people just thinking that's gay, think about what he was holding back. Think about the deeper situation of that instead of just saying, oh, this shit is gay because nigga gay. No, it's way deeper than that. Like, he was really struggling with that.
Yeah.
So, and then of course they had the girl that wanted to be the same equal as a man, so she actually dressed herself up as a man and pretended to be a man just so she could be accepted by her peers because she was trying to be, the world's greatest detective. Again, she couldn't accept herself for who she was because she was trying to be somebody else.
I'm gonna give you another 2 games made by the same developer, very well known to everybody that's in the gaming, but Final Fight.
Oh man.
The girl with the whip or whatever.
Poison.
With the short skirt. Poison. Didn't nobody know that was a transvestite until they put that character in Street Fighter 4.
Yep. Everybody like, oh yeah, knows. Poison is like transvestite. Oh, yeah, about that.
They were like, nobody really never paid attention because every time you play Final Fight or whatever, you see her come out and you're like, You know, because you used it when you played Double Dragon. You didn't have to fight against women on Double Dragon. So everybody was like, okay, smack this chick up and go on. They was, you know, over in Japan, they were like, nah, that's a transvestite.
That's a dude. You know? He just got a whip.
That's a dude.
Like,
yeah.
And I was gonna say, cause it was another game that I did. I don't forget what it was though. And there's been a couple of RPGs that borderline had some stuff like that go on there too, and that was on both the PS3 and the 360. In fact, no. Enchanted Arms had that one dude that was homeboy sidekick. He acted funny, but he wasn't funny. Like, when it came to fighting, he went straight gangster, but the rest of the time, he was acting sissy as hell. But I liked that character because when it came to fighting, that nigga got real OG real quick. He went from sissy to straight motherfucking OG, 0 to 60 seconds. He was just like, what the fuck? Let's go. We fighting. Like, goddamn, calm down. Like, bruh, you scared me. How the hell? I'm up here thinking you know you got some feelings, but when it comes to fighting, you like, fuck this, ain't no sissy. We gonna whoop that motherfucker's ass. But yet, as I said again, people can't see past certain things. It's a stigma.
Too closed-minded.
Just like I can accept anybody in the world. I don't care what religious background you from. As long as you ain't trying to harm me, I can accept you. And like
I've always said this. Whatever religion makes you a better person, I'm all for it.
Yep.
I ain't got no quarrel.
And
my thing is, if you call yourself a true gamer, then you gotta be open-minded. Because how else you gonna enjoy just any game to come out? And how are you gonna find out if you like this game or not? You got to be open-minded.
Yep. And I'll say this: people are open-minded. This is how you know. And I can't say the whole true gamer thing because everybody's a gamer. It's just whether you're open-minded or not on it. So it's like when people say indies are trash, but yet when an indie comes on your platform, it's the greatest goddamn thing since sliced bread. But just, a week ago, indies were trash. So it's that whole selective shit that gets on my nerves. Yeah. It's like it's okay for my side to do it, but when your side do it, it's fucking trash and everything else. I don't like that shit. If it's trash on one side, it's trash on your damn side too. Don't give me that, oh, well, it's better because of such. Nope, don't give me that shit. It's either gonna be trash or not be trash. Which one?
I remember last gen, I was one of the people that took everything to the chin. PS3 was losing to the 360. Alright, cool. You know what I'm saying? PS3 didn't have as much memory as the 360. Right. Games are being played more on the 360. I took all that on the chin. I mean, I didn't see not any of my friends that I was playing that generation with sitting back talking shit about Xbox and all this and that. Because it was like, did nobody really care?
Yep.
But now, since the tables turned,
it's like, look, leading in sales. Oh, sales don't matter. Leading in hardware and software sales, that shit don't matter. 2 weeks later when the Xbox win, oh, Xbox won. But sales didn't matter.
But then somebody sit back and say, well, what y'all do globally? Oh, it's only counting in the US. Some of your friends is not in the US.
Then next thing you know, Xbox win in the UK. Yeah, Xbox won. What the fuck? You just said US the only thing that matter. Why you worried about the UK?
My thing is, why is you worried about what they selling? You paid your money. Shut the fuck up and play your games. Put your money to use. Cause I'm gonna tell you like this, man. I play my PS4 every day. Like I said, it's the main central hub to my entertainment system.
Yeah.
Man, when I played my PS3 every day like I did this, but I did kind of abuse my first PS3 because I never cut this motherfucker. Even if I was playing Raw versus SmackDown, instead of me just saving the game and cutting it off, I paused that shit and left for 2 days and came back.
Damn.
I abused it, right? I burnt the laser out on my PS3.
Oh Lord.
I burnt the laser. It wasn't playing no more disc period. I could play digital, but the disc was dead. I fear that I don't want to mess up my PS4 because I use it so heavily. But at the same time, this is going on the 3rd year, and I never had a problem out of it. I only had my PS3 for a year and a half before it started messing up. And I tell you when it started messing up, when Street Fighter 4 came out. Chauncey Talon.
Yep.
This is how I met that guy. I met him playing Street Fighter 4. I was like, look, I'm rusty. Train me, because that dude is nasty in fighting games, period. So, you know what I'm saying? We playing that. So I get up one day, I'm like, you play some Street Fighter 4. I put the disc in, it's not reading. So I take the disc out, put in Killzone 2. Killzone 2 booted up. I took the disc out, put in Street Fighter 4, it booted up. You got to the point where I'm booting up nothing no more. So I fear the day when my PS4 dies, because I know I'm not abusing it, but I know I'm using it a lot. My thing is, I'm getting my money's worth out of it. So I expect everybody that bought them Xbox One, get your money worth out of it. You can't be doing it all day in these Facebook groups talking bullshit to everybody else. And then when somebody hits you with some facts,
you get mad
into the shit. Yeah, you know, it's a fact. You know, we've been getting games all year long. We hadn't had a dry spell like last year.
Look,
now Sony got the beginning of the year. Microsoft can't say they got the tail end of the year because they only came out with what, 2 exclusives?
Shit, I'm gonna say, look, let's just keep 100 on it, like 100% honest. There, as far as exclusives, as much as people say Sony has no exclusives, I be damn if my damn console doesn't have a whole bunch of goddamn exclusives on it. I am sorry, this is a fact. Every damn time, just about every month this year and part of last year, Sony had an exclusive drop. Big, small,
no.
Look, it didn't matter if it was big, small, or whatever. They had an exclusive. Microsoft had exclusives drop, but not as much as Sony. Let's just keep it 100. I'm talking about the small ones too. Microsoft did have some small exclusives drop, but they were so damn focused on the heavy shit dropping that all they focused on was the end of the year. That's what people on that side look forward to, was the end of the year. So it's like PlayStation been eating good all year. Microsoft, if you were the open-minded type, been eating good all year, and the heavy hitters just drop at the end of the year. Like our heavy hitters drop at the beginning and kind of middle of the year. All y'all's drop at the end. Except this time we had heavy hitters at the beginning, the middle, and the end. So it was like, there is no such thing as a dry spell. I don't know where people got this from. Yeah, if y'all keep saying there's a dry spell, y'all need to stop gaming, because there is no dry spell. You go talk to my bank account and ask if there was a dry spell this year, because there wasn't one. Every week there was something getting bought. Gaming wise.
I've bought at least 2 games a month since Metal Gear came out. Well, before Metal Gear, shit. I've been buying games like hell.
Exactly.
I trade some in to get try to get a deal, because I might not be playing it no more, whatever. Then I turn around and go get the shit back, because I want my shit back.
Yep.
And I mean, man, I hurt my wallet bad this year.
Shit, my wallet was crying. Boy, my wallet was crying so goddamn much. It was like, nigga, if you do this again next year, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, and I'm looking at next year. That's why I posted up in the Facebook group. can 2016 outdo 2015? And I'm not sitting there saying 2015 is just the absolute best.
Yeah.
I'm looking at, we know what's coming out next year, but it is a possibility that a lot of these games that they announced for 2016, they didn't say when, they just said 2016, get pushed into 2017. Because let's take Microsoft for instance. Microsoft, a lot of games are coming out in 2015. Fable Legends supposed to be out. They really didn't say Quantum Break was gonna be out in 2015, but they kept on trying to around to it. But then they got smart and just didn't say it.
Yeah.
What else? Because I don't keep up with too many of this shit. But it was supposed to be.
I was gonna say, I think Microsoft got smart and realized that we can use this extra time to develop Quantum Break some more, but we also don't need to rush Quantum Break out. Especially when you got heavy hitters like, cause this is why I hated for Tomb Raider to come out this year so damn bad. So they went against the wrong goddamn game to try to go against.
And people try to convince me that was the perfect window. And I'm like, no, your perfect window is December the 1st along Just Cause 3. Because that's not no really big, heavy title. And Tomb Raider would have outshined it. Go against Fallout 4. Microsoft is sponsoring both of them basically, marketing both of them, but look how much market Fallout got over Tomb Raider.
I'm gonna say that whole month they released in was fucked for them. You do not release in November. Not if Tomb Raider was a multiplayer, I'd say okay, release it in November. But on one damn system, don't release that shit out to Halo. Don't release that shit out to Call of Duty, and damn sure don't go against Fallout with that. I love Tomb Raider, but I just know don't bring that shit around certain games. It is not going to do well. Not saying Tomb Raider didn't do well, because we don't know the actual numbers of Tomb Raider sales, because digital is a thing now, and people don't track digital. Which, that's another thing for another day, about people saying, oh, certain games only sold X amount, when you can only go by what that site said, and that site only counts physical. But nobody understands that, because they just keep going with, oh, it sold only 6,000 or 60,000 copies. I can't go by that. Digital is a thing. Digital is a thing that's been around for a minute. Y'all should know this.
Yeah, especially on PC. But man, I think November was just the wrong month.
Nope, November is just that month that it's like every company except for Activision and Microsoft. Cause I know even Sony tries to avoid that month. Even though they want something in that month, Sony's smart enough to know, avoid that fucking month if you want something to sell. Cause that's Call of Duty Halo season, that they have a Halo that year, and we know Call of Duty coming out. And since Battlefront was the replacement for Battlefield this year, that was a definite slap in the motherfucking face. So it's like you got pretty much four companies that we know releasing November time frame that always sell good. Don't put your damn game out then. That is a goddamn death wish.
They could have pushed Tomb Raider into 2016, and it probably would have did a little better. Everybody knows January, at the beginning of every year, January is like the weak month. You know what I'm saying? It's not really no strong releases. Some gonna release. Like at the beginning of this year, we had Until Dawn. Not too many people knew much about it. It's TRP. It's sold pretty good, but you could have put a heavy hitter beside it, and it would have been just as good. Made up.
Yeah.
I don't see what people like. November is the best. November was the best month for Tomb Raider. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
It sure in the hell wasn't.
And for it to be just on, well, I can't say on one platform, it was on the 360 as well, which made me ask you that question about, can it be really a next-gen title?
Yeah,
it still should have sold more.
Yeah, regardless of what people want to call that game, it is not next-gen. It's just not. I'm sorry. I understand that you want to be next-gen, just because it looks great, but it's not next gen if it's on last gen system. Might just have next gen features, but it's not next gen. So, I mean, it is what it is. And I'll say that for any game on Sony side too. Like Persona 5, yeah, it's on the PS4. It's not next gen though. It's got, new features, but it's nowhere near next gen. Like, and Ni no Kuni, hopefully that's just on PS4 only, which I think it is.
But if it's on PS3, then it's not a next-gen title. But that don't go to say that, look at Ni no Kuni 1. That looked gorgeous on the PS3. It was basically you playing an anime.
Yep. And I'll say this,
I don't think
a lot of PS3 exclusives look damn good. That's one thing that I will say. When it came to the exclusives on the PlayStation side, just about every single one of them looked damn good. There was a couple of hit or misses with some, but the rest, oh hell no. Killzone came out, that looked good. God of War, of course, that looked good. Anything that PS just about put out, it looks good. That's why I can't see when people saying, oh, PS games look trash. I mean, some of them don't look up to par to what, PS4 should be, but that doesn't mean it's trash. Graphically, it might not look impressive, but it's still not trash. Just like
it was one thing that made me laugh when Infamous Second Son came out.
Oh, man.
First they were saying it was downgraded. No, it wasn't. They went as far as saying, well, how come when I'm walking through a puddle of water, the water don't have no ripple effect? Okay, that's a little small detail nobody really thought about. And does it really matter? I mean, there's too much action going on for you to be like, oh, shoot, the water just rippled while I walked through it and I'm getting my ass whipped.
And I'm gonna say, like, even though, like, I'm not going damage control for it, I will say this. It's slight damage control, but not like full damage control. Infamous Second Son was like one of those launch games or early, close to launch window games. So they were just trying to get it out. Not saying that it was rushed, but cause they had a lot of shit going on in that game if you really paid attention. So the fact that they were just missing when you stepped through a puddle it didn't splash, that's so goddamn small and insignificant to it ain't even funny.
Yeah, I mean, damn, look at all the different particle effects that was going on. It was doing shit that games ain't really do too much, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was some small details, and it was mixed up with one small minor detail. Now you got it where...
I think it was like the puddles and the shadows were like the one thing that was just like missing. That's it. Like that random, you step into one light, you got a shadow, and then you step into another light, you don't have a shadow. And it was just certain things. But even then, I was like, I really never paid. And look, that's the thing. I'm a PC gamer and have a shadow. Cause I was too damn busy fighting to worry about a damn shadow.
Yeah. My thing is, what are you buying and playing this game for? To critique it and try to overanalyze and break stuff down, or are you buying this game to play with to see what the story is about and have fun? That's why I didn't say shit about Halo 5, even though Digital Foundry came out and it showed the corners that they cut. At the same time, it's still a little good. If you're into the game, you're playing, you're not gonna be paying attention to that shit. The only thing you probably pay attention to is when you walk up on some fire, it disappears. But other than that, you're not paying attention to nothing else.
Yep.
So I mean, the thing is, I paid my money for this game. You paid your money for that game. Who's to say that I'm not getting my money's worth?
That is true. I know damn well just about every game I got, I have got my money's worth out of it some way. Even like, that's why it's like Yakuza 0 is that one surprise I wasn't expecting from this year's PlayStation experience coming to the West. 'Cause I had just bought Yakuza 0 from the Japan store. So I was like, oh, I mean, 'cause I was like, I ain't expecting this to come to the West any damn time soon. Next thing you know, here they come saying, oh, it's coming to the West. God damn it, I almost regret buying it. But at the same time, I'm like, well, shit. I got the gist of how it controls, even though I don't know what the fuck they saying. You know, but I'm enjoying the game, even though I don't know what's going on, because you can just tell by certain emotions on a person's face, like, okay, this is a fucked up situation, this is a funny situation, and this nigga just got betrayed. I don't know what the hell he's saying, but he's saying some real deep shit right now. Because it was just like that face that dude made whenever I talked to him. He was just looking at me like, I will fuck you up, and you know I'll fuck you up, but I just want to tell you to your damn face that I will fuck you up. And the other dude really couldn't do nothing about it, because, you know, he's low rank in the Yakuza, and that's the boss, so you really can't go against what the boss say, you know, until you find out the boss betrayed your ass and want to throw you under the bus. And then you like, fuck it, let's go. Fuck me up or not, we finna throw these hands and I'm gonna whoop your ass. And then the big boss gonna come in and tell your ass to sit the fuck down, cut your goddamn thumb off, and walk the fuck out the room.
Yakuza.
And you gonna be mad as shit at me, but at least your ass still alive when you could have been dead, like your homeboy that I threw out the window 15 minutes before that. Or should I say, not threw out the window, I drop kicked that motherfucker out the window.
I'm gonna tell you one game that I feel that I know I didn't waste my money on, and that's the physical version of Devil May Cry 4, the special edition. Cause I don't see them bringing that here.
Yeah.
Because it's been out for a while, and they didn't say nothing about sales or nothing. I ain't played Devil May Cry 4 since the PS3.
Oh,
like, and you know me, you know how I am with digital games. There's certain games I'm just not gonna buy digital. I need the physical. So I went ahead and ordered it. Got it. Ain't nothing changed. The only difference is the X button replaces the O button. That's just it. That's all Japanese games. Other than that, I don't think I wasted my money with that. I don't think I wasted my money with First Light when it comes in, because I got an import version of that. I need that physical.
Yeah.
And I got Drive Club coming in. I need that physical. The digital thing just ain't me. I need to touch my game. But man, you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up because I'm about to save this game and take a little break. But yeah, man.
I'm on a part of Final Fantasy 7 that I need to
yeah, I know. Cause I've been having them awkward pauses in this damn stream of me not moving and stuck on that one sentence. But
I just stopped mine altogether.
But yeah, it's like I'm happy for the future of gaming. I just wish gamers would be happy for the future of gaming and quit being entitled motherfuckers. I'm sorry, I have to cuss, because this has just been one of those things that's been building up for a couple of months, and you just sit and be like, fuck it, just time to let it all out and just say what you gotta say and be done with it.
Yeah, because it's crazy how, okay, you want this, you get it, but you're not happy with it. Why? You know what I'm saying? Watch Dogs, you know, even though, yeah, it got gimped, I paid $60 for it. I made sure I got my $60 worth, because I did all the side missions before I went through the main story. I had fun. After that, take it back. Cheap, you know what I'm saying? Got Major League 14. It was half price off. I mean, I'm not going to sit back and complain about a game because I know what I want to play. I know what I like.
Yeah.
So therefore, I'm gonna buy what I like. I wanted Dragon Quest Heroes, but from what everybody was saying, it's just like Hyrule Warriors, which copied off of Dynasty Warriors. I know me. If it ain't Gundam, I'm not getting it. Now I might check it out when it's cheaper or something. And I'm gonna tell you like this: I can't find a pre-owned version around here in my city. I can't.
Yeah.
I'm looking. There's no pre-owned version, so it's a good game. I get it whenever it's time for me to get it.
Yeah. And I can understand that, because, you know, like we always say, you ain't got to buy a game day one to be, you know, supporting the game. Sometimes you might wait. I mean, everybody ain't fortunate enough to buy, you know, stuff day one. Sometimes you got to pick and choose what you want, what you really going to focus on. Everybody ain't got it like everybody else, so you just have to take it as it comes. But
you eventually get it when it's time for you to get it.
But yeah, man, we definitely gonna wrap this up. But I'm glad you came by so we could talk about like PS experience and of course the whole Final Fantasy 7 thing. Cause that took the cake out the PS experience with that great divide between Final Fantasy people. So yeah. I mean, well, yeah, it's a good. Whew, dang, 3 hours. It's going longer than Count's podcast right now. Jesus. But yeah.
Broken.
But yeah, man. Thank you for coming by. I'm glad you brought some good input to the live stream. That's definitely already going to YouTube. So as soon as it get through with this live stream, it'll be up for anybody that wants to watch again from the beginning and watch all that hilarity. But yeah, man, I'm gone. Thank you for coming by, sir. Hope we can do this again one weekend when something else biblical comes up and it causes a great divide in the gaming community. Cause we gonna talk about it. Yep.
No problem.
But yeah, we gone, people in the stream. We gone. Where? Stop, bro.